think everything else should be good. Nothing wrong on OBS, which thank God still capturing the audio. Eventually, I will upgrade. Eventually, so I will say like what
Eventually.
I will say. What do you think of the like the new? So what do you think of the new notes thing I did?
Well, it's kind of neat.
It's still messy, but I'm just like,
I
especially like
mean,
the build device thing.
we're gonna slime some tangents in here somewhere. Nice
Oh,
to know
I,
there's things I can slime it in between.
I best believe. Literally, I literally said like this might be a 2 hour podcast just off of two things on the thing alone. Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot to go over here, which is pretty good.
Yep. So I think that was the kind of intro there.
You know, at
So
some point, we're just gonna need an actual like second part of this for like non-card game anime stuff.
yeah, I kind of the
Like a bonus podcast every once in a while. Like, alright. So it's been 3 episodes of this anime season. Anything actually interesting this time?
for what?
Like in general, like just other anime series, like
I haven't
3 weeks
watched
into a
anything.
season.
I have not
You're
watched
like
any.
next.
I have not watched any anime that wasn't like Build Divide or Overdress. I've literally just barely. I mean, besides right, Arcane doesn't count as anime. I want to start JoJo. I want to start parts. It's part 6, right?
Mm.
The one that came on Netflix. I
I
want to
mean, I've been
start.
watching a ton of shows this season, so I'm like, man,
It's like I
there's a
want
whole
to.
lot of things to talk about.
It's like I want to start part 6 of JoJo, but I'm still behind on parts 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I haven't even seen 4 and 5 yet.
Like I know I basically like know the TLDR of 3 and like the final. I watched the final episode of part 4 for some reason.
My issue
I
with
don't know. I don't know.
JoJo's is
The the ghost girl was cute. I think that's why.
part 3 felt like a bit of a slog near the end. It was good. Damn, was it a slog? So I'm just like, alright, I'm just done with JoJo's.
Yeah, so like that, then part 4, and then I started part 5. I watched the ending of part 5 on I think on a random Toonami night,
Mm.
and that's pretty much it. So I kind of like want to go back and actually like give those seasons respect, somewhat. So that's
Mm.
why I'm not really watching part 6 yet.
I'm
Arcane
like,
is, and then Arcane doesn't count as anime, so that's literally all I've watched. I have not really watched like I don't know if you want to count like Quinn reviews series on like the iCarly multiverse as like an anime, then I guess kinda. Because
yeah.
man, the more I really man like, bro, I never realized how many like actual like sexual assault jokes are actually in Victorious, or
You know,
sexual harassment jokes, not sexual
every
assault.
time it was on a university like road trip, there was just like one time where people on I think Fortune where kept posting memes about Dan Schneider. I'm like, oh jeez, here we go again.
It's so weird because I'm like, man, I just like the more I watch it, the more I watched his part 1. I think his part 2 should be like at some point, like next month, maybe. I don't know. Like
Look, it's
the more I
since
watch it, the
like
more I'm
Drake
like,
and Josh.
yeah, it's like Drake and Josh is probably the only like show that's like legitimately like straight up like there's nothing like really wrong about it. Because iCarly ended up like scarring Jeanette McCurdy so bad she never wants to work in acting again, even with the reboot. And the old cast being like, you know what, it being like actually okay with that. Like, hey, she can. If she can't do it, she can't do it. We're gonna respect it. We're gonna accommodate her if she does want to come back, right? And then Victorious is like ended up pretty much just like killing Victoria Justice's career, and it's wild to me the amount of like hard effort they actually did try to like make sure that
I'm
to
never
try
gonna
like make
lie.
Ariana Grande like legit look like the most like ineffective character, and
I
it ended up
completely forgot
backfiring.
Victoria Justice existed until like this year.
It's I mean I always remember she existed because existed
I don't know. I got this like memory hold like a
because
lot of things.
it's like I always remember she existed. It's just like, man, y'all got screwed, didn't y'all? I probably should have switched to the. I probably should like set up to like every time we do actual like the actual like podcast segment, we just switch straight to the actual general discussion screen, because like that is kind of like this the setup that, yeah, we're in podcast mode. Speaking of podcast mode, what's up
We're
going
in
on,
podcast
everybody?
mode.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 11 of T.C.G Live Talks. I'm Zechs. This robotic figure is Xenoborg, and we're here to
Anymore.
talk about the trading card games that have
Yeah,
happened. And by that I
we're having a
mean
great
how much
discussion on
everything is
Dance
burned to the ground
Universe.
how everything else is burning to the ground as we talk.
Isn't that the best part?
Because my God, like we took Thanksgiving. When I start Thanksgiving off, I'm like, oh man, there ain't gonna be no news.
We got all the news.
Nothing heavy could happen at the end of this year to try and dethrone the gate ruler stuff. And then in the 11th hour, Bushiroad came through and said, "We're gonna try."
I mean, they're trying. I don't think it's working.
He said, "Hold up." And
You
then,
need the Moab of scandals to deal with to try to top gate roller in the TCG industry.
yeah, but I think it's more just like an out and. I think it's more of the
RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, more so it came out of nowhere, like it came out of nowhere like the ending of Space Jam 1. That's such a bad such a bad one to kind of like compare, but like it was the only thing that came to mind at the time. Which
Yeah, Space Jam 1 was a weird movie.
it was, but it was fun. Space Jam 2, on the other hand, was just bleh. I can't believe someone not only said that was a good idea, but then proceeded to hold on a second. Let me drink this water real quick.
Space Jam 2 highlights the two biggest issues with modern day popular comedy and like humor in general.
Man.
It's always either too ironic or you're huffing your own fumes the entire way through just to act like you're not in on the joke. Yeah. And that's the issue with comedy these days.
I think what's made the current state of everything so bad is just like, man, you know how like those movies just like now have like pop music numbers now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like you're just like this like loud bombastic thing.
Right.
It scarred me to the point where like some songs were just like I can't listen to you that often. Like the what was it called, like the Millennium Parade, like from the U song.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like the U song, Millennium Parade, like the one that was in that movie, that like very very like beautiful movie that I don't know anything about it, but it looks gorgeous. It's like that song feels so similar. It's like, but I'm so scarred because Western cinema is like screwed over pop culture. I'm just like, Jesus, I can't even enjoy it that much.
Like, I'm gonna say something that's gonna be really weird. This is probably the hottest take you will ever hear about.
Oh, trust me,
older movies.
All right.
So I'm gonna say this: Daredevil, the first Daredevil movie that people know about, is unironically better than Netflix's other attempt at it.
Is it entirely? Is it?
Huh?
Is it because Bring Me to Life?
No. Well, kind of. That's a part of it. That's an element of it. It's more honest with itself and wholehearted. in its approach.
Alright.
Like, it knows it's cheesy. It's not poking too much fun at itself for being cheesy. It just knows what it is and revels in it. You don't get that today with modern movies or the Marvel ecosystem, for the most part.
You know what? It's been so long since I watched Daredevil that I'm just like, I don't even remember if I even watched Daredevil all the way. All I remember is
I mean, the same goes for that really bad Catwoman movie and that really bad Hulk movie. They just reveled in it.
One?
Oh God!
Are you talking about Hulk?
The one that didn't get retconned into the MCU.
Oh, the Ang Lee one.
Yeah.
I mean, that one was more like the director trying something different. I wouldn't.
Right.
I don't know if it's bad because I also have not. There's a lot of movies I just have not watched.
Yeah,
it was time or in general.
It was pretty off.
Like, for example, I've never watched Pulp Fiction.
Same here. And never gonna get crucified.
I've never watched Pulp Fiction, but I was pretty much. I remember watching Citizen Kane in film class in middle school, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, this is so boring. And we just literally spent me and my table just kind of like underneath the movie. We're just like pretty much just talking about Pokemon. That's how how much we just did not care about that movie.
Wow.
On the side note, to kind of like come back and like steer the ship in a direction, we got pretty much two real things to talk about. Or rather, like two sections. We have the news, and then we've got the anime section, right, which is pretty much like everything from this point onwards is spoilers. So one thing I kind of said like the start thing I like probably in the section that's gonna be like set up was I started taking notes for the first time. 11 episodes in, I finally like made a spreadsheet, put all the notes that happened in 2 weeks and like that I could find. Right, there was a really like nice article on like ICV2 about stores being like hobby stores like getting like an surplus of actual a surplus of actual money, like their sales were getting higher and higher in the wake of like the quote unquote post pandemic section, which is good, but it was I needed a pro subscription to actually access it. So I'm like, it's like how much? And it's like $10. Nope. It's like you a good site for like nerd culture, but I ain't spending $10 for one article. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna need.
I know I saw like a site earlier or something that's like a plugin they could just like slam into any website with a paywall and just get past it. I should have bookmarked that earlier.
I don't want to risk it.
No, it's no risk at all.
You say that.
It just opens a cache copy of what Google uses to list websites. Because Google has to like cache a non-paywall thing for like listings, so just use that instead.
That's interesting.
Yes. Anyway. Never get paywalled again.
Let's see.
I'm gonna use my ad blocker all day, every day. Can't stop me.
Well, okay, so here's what I originally had planned, which was in the notes, was I wanted to talk about both the episode 6, in which I actually watched it, but I watched episode... Okay, let me tell you about what happened. For those of you who don't know, what happened was I was about to sit down to catch up on the Blazblue episodes, and I watched, and as I did, I got spoiled on episode 9. I didn't know what the context was, but it was so much like, wait a second, how does that work? And with then I went to episode 8, and it all made sense. Then episode 9, and I realized, no, I should have thought of that beforehand. It's a little like teaser for when we get to the anime section, but it is pretty much a, bruh. I really wish I had come into this completely blind. So thank you, W Slasher.
And the bridge
Thank you,
is
W
coming for the
Slasher.
rest
And
of this section. We are not affiliated with or actually even stand by or like W Slasher. Yes.
I was not gonna say that. I was just gonna say it's not your fault, more so just the YouTube algorithm decided to screw
No.
me
We gotta say this
at
now.
a Wendy's.
Okay. Look, we gotta pick a fight now. All right.
No, we're not picking a fight.
No. This is a fight I'm picking today. All right.
Well,
I'm done.
You can pick it.
I'm done talking about our demographics.
Go pick it on your own Twitter.
Look, I may be a robot, but at least I'm not using text to speech. All right. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and the other thing I had was kind of talk about the Vanguard Zero update for G. But I have no idea if I want to save that for later now. You know what? Now, I'm going to talk about this Zero update because I'm going to be completely honest. I have never seen the biggest monkey's paw update to a video game in a long time. I can't say a mobile game because I have very little context for many mobile games, but for a video game to get updated the way Vanguard Zero did, it is a monkey's paw. Like we got our wish of like G, of like a different system, but the paw curled 2 fingers instead of 1.
Look, it's kind of fun if you think about it. With each passing Vanguard Zero update, the game gets closer and closer to becoming Dual Links, for better and for worse.
Oh, don't listen. Okay, so let me start.
You know I'm right.
You're right, but you shouldn't say it. Okay, so let me start.
That's why on this podcast, I gotta say it.
Okay, let me start with the positive. Okay, let's start with the good stuff because I can guarantee you my voice will crack if I talk about the elephant in the teacup. So let's talk about the good. I know some people kind of like upset with was it the cross, like the what are they called, the brawlers, because you can actually, because brawlers were like the best deck in Legion at the end, and then the cross is just a busted card no matter what format it is, because I get to restand on hit in a game that like arm hits are really good. If I don't hit, I then can just combos 1 to pop 2 cards. So you lose boosters, which are very important in Zero.
The house always wins with the Overlord.
So
indeed.
Yeah, and then I also have a stride deck now, so I can also just blow up columns or units and get some counter charge. And the on hit rare that was there is now actually like pretty good, or at least decent. And I can just Legion all my stuff back. Okay, I'm getting a little bit too negative on that.
No, it's fine.
But I'm wondering that besides that, I really do think the changes they made to the gameplay of Zero is actually pretty good. Because what they did is they added in triggers. Like, not just like you switch the grade 3 to like be like draws or crits or stance or whatever. No, they added in like actual like the grade 0 triggers, right? We got Melum. I mean, not Melum. We got Uluru. We got like, was it Quickie Worker? We got pretty much the grade 0 stands. We got the crit triggers for G bosses, right? And one of the things they did was they added Heal Guardians. They added their own version of like Heal Guardians, which is basically like, if you would take damage, lethal damage, if you had a heal trigger in the grade 0 heal triggers in hand, they would discard and give your Vanguard 15k shield. 15k power for that attack, basically blocking the attack. which if you've taken a lot of damage or like taking some damage, that could be like, oh, that could kind of stop the one attack that would have probably gone through without barring like Sentinel Restrict or something. And then you also have like the new Sentinels come in, which I'll get to those in a negative spot. Something people haven't really talked about. I haven't seen, but I digress. So I think striding is pretty good. I think the fact they also added basically a G guard esque mechanic to the game and found a way to actually access it is actually a good idea, and it makes the game actually like feels like you have a little bit more defensive options, right? And defensive options in Vanguard is always good. If you power creep the offense, you gotta power creep the defense. This has always been the way Vanguard should be ever since G era. That's just what it should be.
I mean, that's just basic card game logic.
Yeah, but it's like it was different back in like the original era because it's like the values were so low. But like now that like you've got strides, eventually I don't even know what we're gonna do after we get through with G, or if we
you're playing this game that's lasting long enough to get through G.
We'll get to that. So that's one thing straight up. Like I really like the gameplay. I like the design of the new overlay, not so much how they placed it. After kind of thinking about it, because I like the way the main Car Capital 2 looks. It's like updated to be more specific with like G's like unique art style, and I really enjoy that. I like finally having characters I care about again. Yeah, I said it. I literally did. Remember, y'all. For those of you who don't know, until Vanguard I literally did not care about Suiko at all. I didn't care about Ultra Rare at all.
You know what the best part about this is?
What?
I'm not the one starting the rant shitting on the OG characters. You are this time.
It's like I hate them. It's just, man, a lot
They're
of y'all
not good characters.
I just like, man, y'all were some wasted potential.
Like,
especially Suiko, who literally got especially Suiko, and then Rekka got benched. Her and Rekka got benched in Legion Mate
for all the flack
to be the worst character in the show
that B gets for being rushed, having too little episodes of blah 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 blah. The work it did on making the OG characters actually likable, and in some cases compelling, outshines the original with like half the episodes basically.
So, okay.
Unless you are a Kote or Leon fan, new people do not exist, or just bandwagoners. My God, shut up about your Asia Circuit characters already.
Okay.
You Goki fans are cool though. You guys got an episode in if you're alright with me.
Okay.
But the Kote and Leon fans can go. Think about you already.
So back to the actual.
No. I got a bit more. I got. It's like, but that one scene with Kote versus Ren in Asian Circuit was so great and complete. Shut up. You have that one clip. That's all you Kote fans have. It's that one scene from 7 years ago. You don't actually like the character, let's be honest. You like that Gem Project played that one time. Okay? Alright. I'm glad to educate all of you Kote fans in the chat here. Anyway, back to you.
You say it as if people are going to be listening to us today.
There's going to be someone in the comment section of the VOD going,
I'm not going to cap.
Damn. Alright, I'm done with this robot.
Like, I'm not going to cap. Like, straight up. Like, you act like anyone besides us are even here. Cause BRO just started, cause we got CEO going on. Final Fantasy 14 is on. BRO is still going on. They're about to start They're about to
Here's the
start
best
the
piece of advice.
Australian regional, the top 8.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice here that I've learned from many a person when it comes to streaming. All right.
What?
Even if no one's watching, you gotta act like there's someone watching. So even if no one's in the comments, but I am calling someone in the comments out. All right.
I mean, I understand that.
There's a straw man here, and I will attack that straw man with everything I've got during these podcasts. All right.
The straw man is up to chat. No, but all right, to kind of like pull back on to Zero, because I'm trying to get to the point where I can actually like figure out where we're gonna start and continue from for doing.
You said 2 hours. We're pushing 5 hours here. I'm in a bad mood right now.
Okay. We about to choose violence today, aren't we?
I do every 2 weeks. That's why I'm here. You're the woolly, I'm the pat at this point.
Sometimes I feel like the Liam. Who?
Hey, so how was Mighty number 9?
Shut the fuck up. Okay, so anyway, back to Zero. And one thing, I think another thing I really do like is the missions. I like the way they changed missions, because now you have like 3 missions you can you do, but you can have up to you can reroll. You can reroll a specific mission 3 times a day, and then you can refresh your missions up to 2 more times for 30 stamina. So you haven't just busted down all your stamina, which, because the update you got a bunch. You can just kind of hard reroll a little bit. Now, granted, that stamina will probably be gone the moment Kamui comes out in a week for his tower event.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, that's the only other deck up. I'm going to tell you right now, these event clans are pretty much going to be the best way to get free to play stuff, right?
Yeah.
They pretty much are. And so, the mission system is much more it's better integrated, yes, but I'm trying to say it's also more interactive. There we go. It's more interactive, and it actually made me want to continue playing, right? Also, I like playing Alt Mile Jewel Knights, because Jewel Knights are designed to literally just not care about your Vanguard. They only care about how many rear guards you got. So you just crap out a board, swing, push for 5, and then use Alt Mile to just continuously to just buff the board and just try and swing for lethal every turn. I say Alt Mile, quote unquote, as in the one Alt Mile I do have. I try and do everything I can to search. Let's see.
Well, I got news from my secret reps in the sky that Mystery Floor Dragon is actually playable in Zero.
It is.
And not a joke.
Because on hits are actually possible, and they changed conditions. So another thing is they also changed some cards for Mystery Flare changed. It's now just you just have to hit 3 different grades. Any 3 different grades, not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3. You just had to hit 3 different grades, and if you don't hit, you just you countercharge 4. You get your cost back, and you do it again next turn. Also, being a double rare means this is pretty much your only stride unless you sack positively, which I'm just gonna say that's all the positives I can think of the update.
God.
Because from here on out, I'm going to say it. This update, in terms of the gameplay and the update, actually is pretty cool. But when you get to the actual goddamn excuse the language, but you know what? F it. I don't know why I just excuse the language, but F it. That changes anything. But
So welcome to our Doomer episode.
The economy of the economy of Carpet Vanguard Zero as of this update is so bad it pretty much by itself mitigates all the good the update did.
No, see, look,
See what?
they're just trying to simulate how much worse the game actually got money-wise with GRs by doing it all over again.
I'm gonna tell you right
People
now.
wanted Zero to be closer to the original Vanguard experience, and the G update is bringing you that experience all over again.
Zeno, I'm gonna tell you right now. Monkey's paw. This, the way, the box idea and the idea of having generic mats. Okay, you know, I forgot to put that in. Okay, the box idea is cool. The generic mats is cool. Everything else is ass. It's a 2-pack of ass, double cheeked up on a Tuesday afternoon. Straight up, booty, dumpster juice. Like, just what were y'all thinking? Let me explain what's going on. So, in each box from now until they change it, there's 3 clans, and each of them has, in each box has like, I think like 180 200 packs in it to like clear out the box. You can also reset boxes because that's how like Duel Links does it. And here's what happens: you have 6 GRs. You got like 3, 6, 9, 9 triple rares, maybe 9, 10 triple rares. Well, 9, 12, 12 triple rares. I don't remember. I think it's like 4 each for each clan, and then you got a bunch of rares that do okay. So you have those 6 GRs are one a box. And you know what those GRs all mostly do? Persona flip. So if you want to do like one clan, you have to like go through the entire box until you hit your 2 GRs, then reset, and then do it again like you do in Duel Links. However, unlike in Duel Links, you can use those cards right away. You can go Duel Links and like, oh man, I need to get a playset of, I don't know, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Even though you get like one for free with a skill. But it's like, okay, I need one Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. I need a Sky Iris. Right? I need a Sky Iris. Okay. I go and get my one Sky Iris. I get my Odd Eyes. I can reset the box, but I'm out of like free to play gems. Okay, well then I'm just going to put those in the deck I'm currently building, grind for the gems, and I'm still playing the cards already, and they're useful. They're not, the deck's not full power, but I already have an idea of what to build. No, let me rephrase that. I have a deck that's just functionally working because of just how much stuff I've gotten throughout the years, because Yu-Gi-Oh is a much more generic game, I guess you could say.
I mean, the thing is, G persona flips have always been a scam.
They have, but this time, it's like this time.
Like, the only reason I can think
The thing
there's.
with Genius Persona flips was we didn't really have like the GRs in sets up until we got to like next stage. Up until next stage, the GRs were all just pretty much a single use, right? We had Chronos Command, we had Primavera, uh, what was it called? Not Harmonics. The Stride in G set 3. What was it called? For Messiah's. It wasn't Alter Ego. It was the Messiah Stride, whatever. You know, they were all one-ofs. They could all be used one individually. The reason why they're probably pricey was because they were pretty much the only strides you had. So you need the cards to actually like, work your deck. But you had like generic PRs, and the Persona flips were like triple rares, right? And usually that money was like taken up by the GR. If the GR was good enough, I guess you could say. And that was pretty much the same thing up until Next Stage happened. Which, oh god. Oh god. Set 4 is going to be ass. But here's the thing. So, when we get to the whole system, like, okay, you can reset. But what are you spending to reset and get these cards, bro? Can you tell me?
You know, I haven't touched Vanguard Zero since Asia Circuit.
I'll give you
this is Zero.
I'll give you a hint. It's not the card packs you had beforehand. Because with the update, they made it so that you cannot use the generic card packs to open up G packs.
Right. Yeah.
You can open up old sets from Neo Messiah backwards. And you can also use it on the new clan gotchas. By the way, I forgot to mention another good thing. They added clan specific gotchas where you don't have to like go into specific sets and get your stuff anymore, unless you really just want a specific card. But you can also like if you just want to get a whole clan, you got a clan gotcha. So like even for the event clans, you got some. Congratulations. So we have that, but you can't use the clan packs you probably had built up from years from VP farming to like you returning to zero with the G update to use that to get you a deck from the G boxes. You just can't do it. Also, another thing that's impossible was when Sentinel medals were introduced into the game. What they were meant to be was a way for players to get perfect guards to allow people to play the game. You know, so they're not missing out on their only defensive mechanic.
Oh, what they did to Sentinel medals?
You cannot get the G Sentinels.
God,
they're not. So effectively, what they've done is reset the game's economy. So to the point where all this, if you were a long-term player, you get screwed over because you can't use your Sentinels to get the GPGs, meaning you now have to raw pull them. You can't use old packs, meaning now you have to use new packs. Packs you get from this point onward. And now basically what it means is now you no longer hoard packs, now you hoard gems, right? The paid currency. Oh, and one more thing. To make things even worse, you know what you also can't do?
What?
You can't use the packs for this set for a future set. Let me explain. So, from this point onward, you get packs for set 1, Generation Stride.
Oh, jeez.
But when set 2 comes around, you only get those. You basically get those packs for the rest of the season. You can't farm for new packs. You can't farm for packs for future sets you may want. You can't you can't use them on previous sets.
No. See, this is real less the Vanguard experience. You're buying packs with a specific set, right?
Yeah. And
like it's
and you know what? No one cares. No one gives a damn about that, Zeno. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean by the real Vanguard experience when that only works in the real Vanguard experience, because we have a thing called T.C.G player, where we can buy singles. We have something, it's called crafting, but
crafting.
I'll get to that in a second. Let me talk my ish about the current box state. So you have the ability, you can't get packs. You can't farm for future packs, because at least from what I know, you don't get like you reach like, you can't do like when Shadowverse or something where it's like, you farm for packs and like we're close to a new set release. Oh, you get this many packs of this unknown set of the next set, and you have them set. You did good. We're gonna like reward you for doing good by giving you some free stuff of the next set.
You mean the prize support is just as shitty as main Vanguard?
Why shut up? I need you to shut up for like a good 5 more minutes.
Got it.
No, I'm just joking. But it is, you just cannot do it. And I understand the whole thing with the VP farming, like back when the game started, was an issue, right? Because the issue wasn't the VP farming itself, but rather the fact that you had the ability to use like BlueStacks, which could do Android, which you could set up a macro and just VP farm, and it's like go to work, come back, you got like almost 500,000 VP already, just by literally setting up your computer to drain your phone, to drain your electric bill while you're at work, and come back and it's still clicking on Tsukiyomi. Like clicking at Tsukiyomi and possibly like lagging out.
VP Farmer should have just went into Bitcoin. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like, what's the difference? Except you're making money in the other one.
Yeah. So what it was is like you had basically like multiple games where just VP farmers were just slapping each other, doing literally nothing, while everyone's getting packs and like abusing the economy. And if that, there's no real gameplay in that, right? Like you had tournaments, but it's like when your ladder is basically just full of people literally doing nothing. It's kind of hard to really to justify that still existing. So they had to make changes. And I agree with them making changes. But it feels like ever since then, they've gotten worse with those changes. And it's like they still feel like they're losing money when it's like, no, you're not losing. I feel like what they're doing is they're afraid that the system could like get abused again. Which, not every system's perfect and, definitely do anything, but this is not it. Having to basically like reset the game. Now, granted, I understand like, a lot of those people pretty much like VP farm day and night pretty much to get all the materials per G, right? So it's basically like they come in, it'd be messed up. It's like, you had these people who were like playing the game the whole time, and you had people who had VP farmed for the 999 packs, never played again, then came in and spent all those packs to get every deck they wanted. Just burn through, because now you have an actual like finite. You have an eternal like. You have an eternal like a way to get materials, but you also now have like a finite length of like how long do I have to spend packs until I get the stuff I want, and then I reset. Right? You have it's a mess. It's a double thing. Ugh, not double-edged sword. I was gonna say like. It's a lot. It's a lot to kind of like take care of and like understand because of all the issues that happened prior. There's just nothing you can do about that. But the way they handle it just ain't it, and it really just became a mess. So I get why they did it. I just think it's too scummy. I get it, but it's also just too scummy.
Oh yeah, it's just plain. It's all greed.
Like, I understand you need to make money, but literally screwing over like players who have actively played for years. We're almost at the 2 year anniversary in global. The 2 year anniversary JP just started like 3 days ago. So the fact that we're 2 years in and like you kind of like punish people who have been there since day one feels really really scummy, and it
Man,
doesn't help.
sure would be weird or suspicious if all this scummy behavior may or may not be the result of the things happening in the physical card game. Hey, hey, wink, wink.
Foreshadowing. so so what else is going on? I would be okay with this all. This actually would be fine. You know what the thing is? I'd actually be okay with this if the crafting system was so garbage. The crafting system was bad at the start. It continues to be bad now, and it's arguably worse because now you have generic materials which you can trade in to get like specific materials for crafting cards. But if you want to craft like the GRs of a set, you need 5,000 materials to craft a single GR. Not an SP, a single GR, a regular. And what happens is, should you pull like an SPGR, it gives you 1,500 of those things. Not even enough to get you to a regular GR. Right, so you can't even use Dusty SP to even like get back to like a lower rarity. Like that was okay for like SP like triple rares, like back in the day, because it's like, okay, well you need a lot more. I wouldn't say okay. It was like it more understandable because
Mm.
like say like a triple rare SP, like you only need 100 of the triple rare mats to really get a triple rare like craft. So like it giving you like 30, I think was okay. But it's like the actual like the ratio is terrible for GRs. And that's where things go worse. Go from bad to worse. Oh, I ain't done yet. If you're not done, I'm not done. I just want to get some water.
Is this the part where we move to the pay to win costumes?
No. This is where we still talk about the crafting system and the fact
Oh
that
dang, we're not the costumes yet. Oh no.
no, we're not done that. So, back to the thing. They still have not allowed you to dust anything unless it's no. Actually, they have changed that. They changed it a while back. They changed like you can dust like individual cards, so long as you have a like another version of the card in some way, excluding SPs. So you know those 500 old Arts of Blazblue you got, you can dust them all until they get to 4. Your 4, you can dust them all up until you get to 4. So like you have like a favorite art, you can dust like the original Blaster Blade for like the I don't know the anniversary one. You can still get the anniversary one. I think if you use the Fighters Tournament stuff, which I also have to talk about later. We'll
Mhm.
get to that. So, you could dust that. But your 4 Blazing Flare Dragons that have been sitting in your inventory since set 2, you still keep them. Despite the fact that there's not a deck that ever uses them ever again. Like, I'm telling you now, the changes to Dungaree allowed that to be playable. I don't know a deck at all in Kagero that would ever use Blazing Flare ever again. That card is literally sitting in your inventory doing nothing. And all those cards you could be used, and guess what those could be done? For like probably like a smaller fee, like 15 mats. You know what you do? You dust every single triple rare, triple rare, double rare, single rare, like common, to basically just like be like, you know what? I need cards from new stuff.
I mean,
I need I
we
need
just
I need actual cards, like, right? I need the cross. I need this. What am I gonna do with Blazing Flare and gosh dang Amber Dragons? Like, what am I gonna
I
do with
mean,
Perfect Riser in 2020? What am I doing Perfect Riser in G? Like, nothing about Perfect Riser is only good because it's got a free crit. We got a free crit in a game that does not that punishes you for running crits in your normal deck. So a free crit means that you can like push through your opponent's defensives much earlier. But now with the amount of cards that can gate crits like the Legion Risers, you don't need Perfect Riser anymore. In fact, you're gonna get more Riser support later. Blows are getting more support later. It's like some of these archetypes are no longer good, no matter how much support you give them in the future. It's just what's gonna happen. So it's like give us the ability to, for probably like a lesser price, dust these things. Instead of having it said like, oh, you can only dust it if your clan is actually popular. Sorry, Murakumo, you can't get rid of Magatsus.
look, we shouldn't
Sorry,
be
Kashi.
saying too much
Sorry.
about this.
No, 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 no. I
You,
ain't.
no,
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 no, no.
no.
You
The
want to start a
Shadowverse and
fight?
Heart.
Let's talk about it. You can...
Look, the Shadowverse and Hearthstone players that may find this video don't need all the ammunition.
I don't give a damn. I'm
Because
telling
they're just
y'all
like, all
straight.
right,
I'm gonna be
new set
100
comes out.
because this is because first off, I'm actually like thinking about maybe I should like cut this off specific segment and just be like actually post it on the channel individually as like a here's my review of Vanguard Zero in the G update so far. But that's semantics for another time. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you do this, and it's just like, man, these cards are literally useless. What about it's like, what am I gonna use? The card that like Soul Blast One gets you 5K. It's a 5K. I'm never gonna use that card again. I'm never gonna use the this ride line specifically again. Like, let me dust these. I don't play. I don't play. See, like, I don't play Neo Nectar. I don't play Grand Blue. Say, like, I don't play Nubatama. I don't play Royal Paladin. Let me dust this for like a small amount of generic materials that you've added, so I can actually make the decks I do want to play. Right, and then you could use your terrible money grubbing system because I have a way to be like to be as free to play as I can, and probably maybe like if I still love the game, I'll put in some money. Your game has not given me the necessary materials to stay free to play. Speaking of, two things that were removed in the update was the testing section, was the testing fights, in which you could build like a test deck, and like for like a weekend, like 2 or 3 days, you can go into ranked and you use the deck to play, but it costs you some of your generic common materials. They got rid of that in the update.
Oh no!
They also got rid of the champions, the tournament system, which was how you got like cards like Blaster Blade. We got like the alt arts of like Blaster Blade Seeker or Blaster Blade Liberator or Gancelot. You know, you got a lot. There was a lot of things that were right. There's a lot of things that were like actually actively removed to hurt the free to play like player base, and it's like they've done nothing to really add in something. And someone's gonna be like, well, what about the Fighters Collection? What about the Fighters Collection? The Fighters Collection costs 400 gems for a pack. Well, I was like, yeah, you get double rares only, and you can get your stuff earlier for like clans that like haven't been released in their G stuff, like a Murakumo and a Nubatama, and you know, what's next? Angels and Genesis, right? Like that's cool, and they definitely had the thing where it's like, okay, we get a box, but like nothing about that is really just like a good thing. It's a nice thing for a thing, but another thing is you only get it for this month. You don't get it anywhere. Am I still recording? Oh yeah, we're still good. I was like, you don't get it anywhere else. You don't. Once the month's gone, it's gone, and you have to wait for next Fires Collection. So I was like, yeah, the Fires Collection is good, but it's not a free to play, a really free to play like good thing. Right? It's like, again, like they remove so much of the free to play aspect without finding like a second way to bring it in.
Well, more common to be like side games in their infinite money pool and just say, you don't want to give us any money? We're going to give you so much stuff. You start thinking about maybe slightly giving us some money. We're still going to give you a ton of stuff for free because we can.
But it is kind of like, also like, originally they had like these like live 2D models of characters. Those are gone in the G update. You just get
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
You get, yeah, we're back to Danganronpa stills.
Ah, jeez.
Not like they're just like A posing in a thing, but it's like, yeah, we're pretty much in like visual novel shenanigans. What is going on, chat? By the way, thank y'all for coming, I guess. I'm surprised y'all even decided to pull up, but thank you and all the same. Yeah. But that being said, oh god. Oh, now we can talk about the skins. So one of the things is they gave you a thing where it's like if you hit G level 10, which you know is part of the mission system, you get like this G medal, which you can exchange to get a skin for a skin for a G like character pretty much. Right? So like you get Chrono for free because Chrono is the only like G clan user. But you have to get Mamoru and Shion, which are the only ones out in global right now. You know, eventually we'll have Tokuha, Saya, Jaime, the assassin, and then Kanzaki, Taiyo, and Ibuki for set 3 later on.
I kind of want to see the sales information on the Mamoru skin.
Oh, we're not done. We'll get to
that. No. Kind of curious.
Information on Mamoru skin?
Yeah, like how many people are actually getting the Mamoru skin?
Because the Gmail thing, you technically just get Mamoru for free.
You can get Mamoru for free.
Mamoru for free is pretty cool. I'll take Mamoru. Mamoru's cooler than Tai.
Like, yeah. Barely, but yeah.
I mean, I he's one of those. For some reason, just like Kagura users just get the short end of the stick of like character development.
Something about Kagura. I mean, look at overdress, and we have like 2 Kagura reps here, and they're both.
What do you mean?
One's pretty good.
What do you mean 2 Kaguras are rough?
Okay, one's pretty good. The other one is.
Mirai is literally keeping the show together. I don't know what you mean.
Fine. But they don't want it to you. And that's on the screen right now. This is so perfectly timed.
Convenient. Okay, so, back to what I was talking about. So, speaking of overdress, back when they had like the overdress premiere thing, they had like skins which you could get for like the overdress characters, which they would be like for five, for the nations they represent, right? You get Megami, you get Yu, you get Donji, Toya, and I think they just added Tamari. So you had that. And then but guess how much those costed? They costed 100 specific medals, and you can and you had to buy them.
I figured.
The first time you could buy it, like you got like double, but second
Uh-huh.
time you had to buy them like 10 at a time, which cost
Yes,
about like
yes.
1,200 gems.
Mm-hmm.
Which you know, we still, I still even talked about how terrible the ratio for like paid gems to actual money is to buy that stuff. But it's like it's basically over $100 to get those skins, to get all of them, to get all of them individually. So it's like you're spending almost $400 to get characters from an anime you might not even still be watching by that point because of how bad season one was near the end.
Yeah.
The rate per dollar is booty cheeks, and you're telling me I gotta spend all that to get a character who gets no screen time in Tamari? Who's a
Look, you can spend all that money on that character on a Tamari skin, or you
listen?
can do yourself
We
right.
can't all
You
be
can put
like,
all that
we
money
can't
towards a
all
new
have
Saber skin.
like we all can't have like a thousand people watching our stream giving us everything,
For
giving
now.
us everything like different fight can, okay? Where,
Look.
where literally like
For
everybody can
now.
like send him the energy and he can like cop it real quick because he's pulling from the set anyway, pulling up
Okay,
250
look.
packs. Okay, we
You're
all
being too much of a doomer about this. Give me some time, some blackmail, and some negotiations, and we got this. All right?
wait what?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What? You're talking about some
What?
time blackmail negotiations? What are you talking about?
And then we'll hit the big leagues. All right? Just give me some time.
I I'm
Don't worry
concerned.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so back to the whole thing. So while it's not as pricey to get the base skins for like Shion and Mamoru, not like you know, because like the way you used to do it was you got like uh the way like old skins were doing is like you got a medal for opening a pack, regardless if it was paid or not, and then when you hit like 100 medals, you could go to the store for like that patch until they like changed. It was like, oh, you can get these all now forever, and you'd spend those medals, those Vanguard medals, and you get a skin for a character, right? You can get like a Corrin skin. You could get a Suiko skin, a Rekka skin, a a uh, a Kamui skin, which was, I mean, there really is like you got everything, but it's like you got like little like smaller skins or like a Miwa skin, right? Like where you can like switch out who you want, right? So you didn't want to be Aichi, pay those 100 medals you get from just opening packs, passively, and get you a Corrin and swap them out. Now, so it was like that was kind of pricey, but you could save up wherever you wanted, right? Like that's fine, right? That's how it should be, right? You save up for who you want because we at the time had 3 months of prior knowledge, so you could
All
save
right.
up to like save up for the you could save up for the Masaki Asia Circuit skin. But now, what you do is you no longer have to save for that. What you do is you have to buy a G metal set, which is uh just simply give us $15 and we'll give you some gems and we'll give you a G metal. And you use that G metal to get you a skin. And
Mm-hmm.
in a way, it's like, okay, that's cool. And plus, they already gave you a G metal skin for free. So you can kind of, if you want to, you can just save that for if you want Tokuha next season, next set. Which, by the way, the fact that you have to pay for Tokuha and Shion already is some BS. Because those are literally the main characters of G. The fact you don't get them for free is already already some BS.
They're the accessories, not actual main characters. You gotta understand the logic here.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, some of those characters, like who, like, I can get Shion because you have how many like Royal Paladin users, but Tokuha is literally the face of Neo Nectar.
Yeah.
Like, who? What other like real like Neo Nectar player do you know? What?
Who? Huh?
Like, there's only two. There's only two Neo Nectar players. Well, technically three, and that's Rekka, who doesn't even play Neo Nectar in the original series. She plays it in V. You
Alright,
have
alright.
Mai, who is Emmy's friend, who has been deleted from the series post original. Pretty much, she never shows up again.
Yeah.
And then you have Maki, who's only like really, who was a nothing character, and only really became a character when they actually gave her something to do during V. You literally have no Neo Nectar players. You have a Lolly, and that's it. And guess what they did? They gave you they gave you a skin of the Lolly in her school outfit. Cool. Well, thank you.
And that's all Neo Nectar players deserve, let's be honest.
Shut up.
No, I'm right.
I'm not a Neo Nectar player, I'm a Musketeer player. We deserve rights.
No, you don't. Look, your reps still trying to clean themselves from out under a truck, okay?
Okay. But what I'm trying to say is Tokuha is pretty much the fact you have to pay for Shion and Tokuha is absurd. It's absurd to me, right? Every other G character I can get if you have to like spend some bank on them, right? Right, I guarantee you, like, the amount of people who are going to actually like spend that money on Am and Luna when their skins come out, or we know Different Fight is going to spend money on Rin, every Rin skin in the world.
Spend money, air quotes when it comes to Different Fight.
But it's pretty much just, yeah, these G characters are very very like are very, very popular, right? Do you know how many people when the OTT event happened were like, but where's Kumi? Everybody was literally like, why the heck we got Tsunedo? Give us Kumi. Kumi or we riot.
Look,
Kumi literally didn't really even. Kumi had like one fight against Chrono, and wasn't really important until G Next.
But I mean, so was Tsunedo.
She's still like a pretty good like, but she's still a pretty like top tier favorite side character, right? Not to mention the fact that she has more artwork because of the G mangaka's fan art. And Oda. You know, kids don't look up Oda. Well, I don't know what kids are gonna be watching this. I literally say in every podcast, this is not made for kids. Don't do this. It's like, I know this is about trading card games, but trading card games are an adult business.
All I'm saying is I've never seen artists completely flatline that hard. Anyway.
Okay.
It's been like 5 years. Their art has not progressed like one bit.
Damn.
It's literally just the exact same art with the exact same character, slightly reshaded or slightly tilted. It's never going to change from that deviation.
Damn, you sound like a Redditor talking about one of my artist friends. God dang. Just straight up went for the jugular. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the violence podcast tonight, right?
Oh, I think that's the title of this episode, the Violence Podcast. All right, so uh, I still at the end TLDR, Shion Togawa should have been free. I I can get Mamoru and everybody else because they already have like 500 other skins. You could just buy them, or like you have compensation for that. But Shion is the main character, and Togawa is the main character, as well as Togawa is the only Neo Nectar player. Mai does not exist, and Maki isn't relevant till V. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did at least give like the first things, like, oh, you get like the event for set 2.
Well,
Oh shit.
at least they haven't just outright said, "Your Neo Nectar ramp is Megumi. Take it or leave it."
Oh god. First off, screw you. Second off, I just heard like something like fall on my dresser. I was like, oh, it's all the sleeves that I have like piled up on top of my dresser. They just all like randomly fell. I was like, what the?
It's a prophecy for what's about to come next in this podcast.
It is. So I think I pretty much kind of like talked about. I think I talked about pretty much everything. Right. I think just like there's a lot of things with the monetization and the actual like economy that just kind of like got crapped on. That even though the gameplay is good and the mission system is much better, it doesn't like, it's still too much. And I really hope Game Studio fixes it in some way.
Game Studio is just prepping us for Master Duels.
So you know, if we're, you remember Blazblue Dark World, right?
Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
You know how that game pretty much died, right? No, not pretty much. It did die. So
Was it ever alive to begin with?
So let me take a small tangent to talk about Blazblue Dark War. Blazblue Dark War pretty much died because it actually had a okay start. It was fine, right? Even though it had 4 years of bad development time. It was supposed to be in 2017. It's supposed to come out 2019, but things happened and had to come out 2021. Unfortunately, they even, unfortunately, the system they had do it, which is supposed to be like a FGO clone, which could have been okay if it had released earlier.
It couldn't.
I'm saying, like, it would have been better than what happened.
Maybe.
Literally would have been better than what happened. So what?
Okay, fine. Like the most literal definition of
but I'm saying,
better.
Like, but
yes.
literally, it was like it would have been okay. But like since that time, what games came out between 2019 and 2021? Genshin Impact, Uma Musume, Punishing Grey Raven. Like all those.
Insert any mobile game that does anything more than the basics as Vagrant Order. Any mobile game.
But let me, what I'm trying to say is, what happened is the system of gacha games had changed. It had changed in a way in which the FGO like system was effectively phased out. Let's keep it a buck. It was phased out because it was a bad system, and unfortunately,
it was already in the first
amount
place.
of development time, they could never change it. But despite all that first like month was pretty good. But what happened was, I think around the third month, I wish I had the actual thing pulled up for like their sales. But what happened? So what happened was simply
They should have had a Guilty Gear crossover event like month 2 to save itself.
No. I'm saying like month 1 was good, month 2 was good. Month 3, they had a gacha in which the pull rates were so bad, people were spending loads of money to try and get the character they want. I don't remember what gacha it was. It might have been like I think it was the Noelle gacha. I think it was like Noelle's like Noel's like super gotcha or something, and they spent all this and they couldn't get Noel because despite the gotcha rates, they weren't the gotcha rates. Then something else happened where a whole bunch of issues happened, and the point was they had to give all that money back. They refunded everybody and gave them the units anyway. Because the whole thing was supposed to be like, okay, we're just gonna like sustain off of, the game, and the whole thing was meant to be Mori trying to tell a story to set up Blazblue for the future.
Future Blazblue.
So when that happened, a lot of people lost interest. Then they never really did anything because they lost so much money having to give back all the money. So they could never really like fix some issues. They could never like get people to trust them again, and they just lost money. Eventually, they died because they literally were not making enough money to sustain anything. So you see what I'm getting at, right? I firmly believe that, and now granted, Vanguard is a much bigger IP than Blazblue is right now. Oh god, I can't believe that's a real thing. But what I'm trying to say is, because, I'm saying this pretty much as, also like Blazblue Dark World didn't have anyone really like defending the game, as opposed to like Vanguard Zero, where Different Fight literally has a broken back for how hard he's carrying not just Zero, but the whole franchise.
Like, if Different Fight walks, or Vanguard stops being his main game,
it's over.
It's over.
Because I don't think anyone has really like gotten, right? There's a lot of people in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You have Robbie Cole, you have Simo, you have Nim Nim, you have MBT, you have Farfly, you have Rada, you have all these people who like, if one of them said like, okay, I'm kind of like just gonna like take a break from Yu-Gi-Oh, you got 5 other people who are going to step up to the plate and
like even Zechs on Digimon now, and like Solemn's having a failing Yu-Gi-Oh career. It's just Different Fight.
Like really,
no shots fired at Solemn right now. Maybe later.
Oh god. Okay. Another foreshadowing. What I'm saying is, I don't think Zero is going to turn into Dark War, but it damn near is like one big mistake away from fumbling the bag.
Right.
And the fact that it was actually like, it had enough good systems that were fine, but they threw them all away in this update. I'm like, this is bad. This is honestly bad. I don't care about, oh, well, it's just a gotcha. No. There's still ways to play a game, even if it's thing. Like, I'll say that I will defend Duel Links and Shadowverse on this, because they found a way to let you choose how much you want to spend money in it. Okay, well, not exactly Duel Links, but Shadowverse, you're allowed to dust all your old cards. You get like 10 packs for free. You get free packs just for them. Just because you logged in, you get free money. You get free packs. Just because,
like, I play nothing but Portal Craft in Shadowverse. I'm like, every new set comes out, dust everything, get every single Portal Craft deck. Day one.
Get you a competent deck and play and get the money get the value to refund. And you're so happy, you might consider spending some money on like the collaboration they're probably doing, right? You're probably gonna spend money for that C2 skin in the Kogias collab. You're gonna spend money for that Saber and Ren and Sakura and Archer collab. You're gonna spend money for that Chun-Li and that Ryu. Like, you're gonna spend money on those collabs because you didn't spend money on the actual packs you probably had to pull. Right? So you can say, like, okay, well, this is a cosmetic thing. I'll spend the money on getting that. Like, shoot. shoot, man. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm just like, man, the game as a gameplay way is so good, but man, does everything else suck.
You know what's funny now that I think about it? The way Vanguard Zero tried to market itself genre-wise, it's not. It doesn't market something like an online, like mobile card game. Let's see your Shadowverse, your Duel Links, and blah 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 blah.
It markets
No, no,
itself
no.
as an RPG card battle or something, right?
Yes. Emphasis on being an RPG with some light card battling.
Whoa,
I'm not lying, but you know what I mean. Like they're trying so hard to say we are not trying to compete. It's funny.
it's just like I'm just saying, if they're not careful, they will end up like BBDW. They will end up like the BBW, right? Like it, small tangent.
I imagine the new person we're talking about in a little bit is probably like, damn, if they don't give me the money for this online PC client, we're kind of screwed, aren't we?
Just a small tangent before we actually get like into like any news thing or something. Like,
Before things get even worse.
I want to talk about Dark War 2. It's like, man, I know people are like, hey, man, we're Blazblue ain't dead. You know, we got time. Things be okay, right? Guilty Gear literally had not gotcha a pachinko machine that was canon to the lore, by the way, and
Of course.
Not Vastage, Izuka and Overture. If it could survive, the franchise could survive that and come in with Exert, it'll be fine. And to that I say, the thing is,
I mean, not every franchise can survive an Overture.
Not every franchise can survive an Overture. The difference between Blazblue and Guilty Gear was ArcSys was fighting to get Guilty Gear back. They were fighting to make sure Guilty Gear was in the best state it was when it returned. What did Blazblue get? It got a crossover with a game where two games people liked at that point were like one game in Persona 4 RWBY, which people liked way more because Persona was getting like really, really popular now. Under Night was also like underrated, and once it finally came to Spotlight and getting a dub, like it became like one of the top like games at Evo that the year it actually finally like got allowed to come in. Like the last Evo we had that wasn't online. And then it added RWBY. Which I want y'all to think about this. If there's a franchise that is down bad as Blazblue, right now is RWBY. RWBY needs a dub. Considering we're not getting a season this year. We're not getting a RWBY season this year. The actual
owns Rooster Teeth at this point.
The actual company is still within Warner Brothers, so it's like it technically is legal for multiverses, right? But it's like it's in this limbo because Rooster Teeth's trying to be sold.
Yeah.
But you can't put it in the game because the moment you do, when you sell the company, it's like, well, shoot, it's not really a Warner Brothers IP. Now we gotta like do logistics with that, right? So it's like Rooster Teeth can't get like a collab. RWBY can't get a collab because now you know if you sell it in the middle of the collab, you now have to do like a whole bunch of other logistical crap. So like RWBY's in limbo. And
what are Rooster Teeth's options?
RWBY is in limbo. And
Warner Brothers and Sony.
you see, there actually is a good video about what should happen. What on earth is this?
I mean, if you think about it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this. This is some weird stuff. But it's like Roos. It's like I saw this really good video. It's like the only way to probably save RWBY is to just let Arc System Works buy the IP.
Probably.
And I'm just like, you know what? You're kind of right. BB Tech had the most like love I had felt in RWBY in years. Just off remembering, oh yeah, RWBY loves weapons. What is she doing as over when she's teared up with Ragna? She looks at his sword scythe. What does she do when she sees Aegis? She geeks out over Aegis as an example, and Labris. Right? It's like it reminded me of why I loved RWBY in the first place. So having that be a thing in BB Tag was like one of the things I really loved about that game. And like it reminded me that, oh yeah, these characters have personalities. These characters were fun people to watch, and they had heart. And and now as I more and more think about it, it's like Volume 8 comes around and they literally aren't the same characters anymore in a bad way, to the point where they destroyed an entire country. An entire country destroyed because they were actually dumb.
I mean,
It's like, I know it's like the whole thing is like, oh well, they're lovable goofballs, but they're no longer lovable.
is that the video? Oh my god, there's a video I keep seeing my YouTube recommendations like the true villains of RWBY, the good guys. I'm like, oh jeez, this is on come up at some point from Zechs, isn't it?
Oh, who's the? Do you know who the like the person who did the video is?
It's probably saw my front page.
Cause like if it's someone named like Twins Inc. or Judgmental Critter, like those are like actually really good actual channels. So like I would recommend their stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying it right now. It's probably gonna show up again at some point. Anyway.
All right. So anything you want? Okay, I think I'm done with my whole Zero rant. Anything you want to talk about? Like, how was your week or your Thanksgiving?
I mean, not much has been going on really. Megaton Musashi's been that one mech anime that's just why.
Oh, so it's
why?
Flounder since the last time you saw it?
It's, I don't know, it's something weird about the tone, right? Like, it's from the creator of Gundam Age. Like, the Gundam Age writer is like handling the entire project.
Well, hold on a second. Is that the series you posted in?
Yes. Yeah, so straight from level 5.
So there was more.
The maker of Gundam Age.
There's more to the Gundam Seed analog than just the main character gets freaky.
That's not even the main character. That's the funniest part. It's a sidekick.
What?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And again, that's also the commander.
Okay. So, all right. What else is going on? Continue with your thought.
I know the tone feels off. Like something about the atmosphere in that show is like, oh, gee. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's a level 5 art style. It's kind of like drawing me off. The tone and the plotting and all the incidents that keep happening. It's like, oh, gee. Why do you have to look like level 5 characters? Well, I can't get enough of me living out my head when watching this stuff. I'm like, ah, jeez.
Well, I've never I've never really seen a level 5 anything. I haven't even watched Age. Because it's been like, I don't know. Because it was like after, before my time of getting reintroduced into Gundam.
Hmm.
So it was off streaming sites by that point.
Uh, Main character just casually talking about genocide. The mech action's great,
Yeah.
but the pre-show's like, how's this plot going?
I don't know, somewhere. Just keep watching, find out.
Right.
Okay.
86 is really good. I
That's
can't seem to air 2 episodes in a row anymore.
see, I'm actually like, I really want to watch 86. I'll probably wait till like season 2 is over.
Hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything about it.
Yeah, it's fine because I'm like I haven't touched it. Like I wanted to watch like Vivi Fluorite song or whatever it was back then, but like I really just couldn't like watch anything.
I'm so torn on Vivi. It's such an 8.95 out of 10. And I want to give it a 9, but I can't. There's some weird stuff it does. Yeah. I'll find a tangent later. Don't worry.
All right, so all right then. So I think we're good. So we can just move. Man, I was not expecting us to get to news. How long has it been? About an hour and 40 minutes in.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, so we're gonna.
You weren't kidding. I wasn't kidding when I said 5 hour stream.
All right, so we on news. First off, we got that Spider-Verse 2 trailer, or at least teaser.
I still haven't seen the first one.
And let me just do my one degeneracy of the day. Uh, the redesign for Gwen Stacy is still the best part because the messed up. So this is like a slight spoiler for Spider Verse, but like when Gwen and like when like Miles gets his powers, he accidentally like sticks onto like was it the right side of Gwen's head, and so he accidentally like tears out like part of he can't like let go, so he had to cut her hair on the whole right side off, and like they basically just like took that design and updated it to like to be like a mismatched hair design, which is so much better than anything. So that there's my degeneracy of the day. Thank you very much. So first off, we have Yu-Gi-Oh news. Yu-Gi-Oh Go Rush was trademarked, so it's possibly like Yu-Gi-Oh Season 8. Oh, it's the it's still there, right?
It's either season 8 or a time skip season for sevens.
Yeah, it's probably like our Yu-Gi-Oh Season 8 or like Yu-Gi-Oh Sevens 2. It could also just be like a way they just like find a way to kind of bring Rush Duels over, because I think if you're gonna still keep going with Yu-Gi-Oh in Rush Duels, I think you can try and at least like bring the format over here.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can afford to do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, the best part about this news, as I've said before,
What?
is laughing at Brains fans who are hoping that we'll finally be done with sevens and we get a mature Yu-Gi-Oh anime again.
As a Frames fan, I've never said that.
You're one
As
of the
a
good ones.
as a Frames fan, I wanted a season 2 that wasn't bloated with Soul Burner, and a season 3 that wasn't just slammed into 12 episodes.
I mean, I wanted season 2 and 3 that weren't just repeating the same plot beats from the end of season 1.
Well, let's discuss that. So, I haven't. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I have not watched Sevens because another thing of not on a streaming service, and I don't really like going to the seven seas for my anime a lot. Like it has to be like legitimately. Like, I think the last time I did was Recreators.
Let's hear this, Zechs. The money you're putting towards legal, what's the money you're putting towards legal services actually going to?
Well, you see, the thing is also that I just like
You're
the.
funding High Guardian Spy season 2 is what I'm saying here.
There's no way we're having a season 2. It took them. They hid that series for so long. They tried to do everything in their power to make sure like no one remembered it existed. Only for them to release the here's the trailer. Here's the trailer, and everyone's like, oh god, you're back. And then proceeds to fight that thing again.
See, I found our next tangent point. Crunchyroll Studios.
No, we're moving on. We're moving on. Next, Build Divide. A nice Build Divide like tangent here is weird. Set 4 was announced.
I give it a week before pre-orders are sold out. And plan they haven't already.
And we apparently get a new Divide Rare, who plays the role of Melissa. Do we know Melissa in the anime?
That's a new character.
So that's probably like a season 2 character. Okay. So
yep.
We got a character in season 2. And we got artwork, which I can't scroll down because I feel like we'll get shot. I've seen the artworks.
Don't worry. TOS won't get you here.
Nah, man. I'm good. I'm good. So we also got a announcement that we're getting 2 new trial decks on April 1st. I did not pull up the actual like trial deck information. And I'm too scared to go and find it because Twitter is crazy.
But there are starter decks.
Yes, there are starter decks. Probably for like 2 other new characters.
Yep.
So, I'm really hoping it comes to the West. I really do want to play this in the West and like get my friends in there, because should Gate Ruler die, I need someone. Should Gate Ruler die and Vanguard is in a weird future, I need a game to like actually kind of like yeah, I want to play this.
The challenge isn't Gate Ruler if Gate Ruler signed. The new challenge is, can they get the rights back to it?
Also, more foreshadowing.
God.
All right. Next.
We're doing a 2-hour Gate Ruler podcast at some point.
We probably will. Probably next year. At this point, because we only got one more show.
I mean, we got like 4 weeks into the first anniversary.
Oh God. If news breaks then yeah, we'll have the Gate Ruler podcast there. Otherwise, we'll probably start. I don't know. I'm trying to think of when I want to do the T.C.G's in 2021 podcast, but that's for off screen.
Break out the New Year's champagne. It's time to talk about what died.
Did anything die this year?
No, it's just going to be Gate Ruler.
If it does.
If it does.
Imagine going to 2021. You're the game. You become the Overwatch of TCGs.
Look.
Whereas like you somehow are dead, despite a year in which everybody has literally nothing to do but play what everybody wants to play.
Takara Tomy was doing like a survey earlier to see what TCGs people were playing, And they listed damn near everything except for gate ruler. It's like, shit, the writing's on the wall.
Okay, so Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast shows their Unfinity set.
Why are we doing magic news here? Hold up.
Because I really, because of this, uh, can I get the image? Because of these,
Alright.
these,
Oh,
these lands are heat.
yeah, okay, yeah. There's some great, damn good looking lands.
The lands are great. I don't play Magic like that, but I would like a play set of planes just because the artwork so far.
I'd be now realize this podcast has now been compromised by Western card games.
Yep. It's like I really just enjoy that. Also they decided to add an acorn symbol for clans, for not clans, but for cards that are unplayable in actual formats.
It's like they learned their lesson from The Walking Dead.
Well, let's see what's next. Oh yeah, BRO is going on right now.
Bro, why are you watching us when you could be watching BRO?
Yeah, look, why are you? No, you know. First off, thank y'all for even just showing up. But second, like, yeah, why are you all here? Literally, everything is happening this weekend. Why are you watching a black nerd and a robot? A black nerd and a black robot talking about TCGs in the dead of night on a Saturday afternoon.
So when's your avatar coming in?
While you got multi-blood fights going on, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, you got those going on. You got Final Fantasy going on. You got BRO actually going on, which I'll probably just like switch to like a host after we're done.
We're just gonna start calling this thing bro from now on, I'm sorry.
Huh?
We're just gonna start calling BRO bro.
Oh, you can call it bro. I don't care. Just keep
Look, it's about time.
So that's going on. Kind of like a quick review on what's been going on with it. Way better than the Spring Fest from last year. Holy cow, the actual like production is so much better. Like I'm so glad they kind of they got their act together from last time.
I ain't even checked out bro yet.
You can't post your own stuff in the chat like that. Okay.
Yes, I can.
So this
is my channel.
I didn't realize like we'd have everything, but like they announced all the commentators, Peter B.E., Top Deck Heroes, Philippe, Outer Orange, Toku and Zistral from Yellow Card, Different Fight of course, GG Mr. Rogers of course, the Crossbone Vanguards group, Professor A, I don't know, and then Kai because of course. Besides Kai, Different Fight, and GG Mr. Rogers, all of these people pretty much like first time commentators on a Bushiroad stream. Now this is for the Vanguard like commentators, but it's like the fact that we got like 11 people who are willing to step up to the plate and commentate now is really good, and I want more people to actually like commentate. Because then we can actually have people who can like you know, when we could get to offline events, we can actually have tournaments, you know, our Spring Fest or like a BCS where we can have actually like live stream the events and actually like have commentary about you know, about games and whatnot, and then we move on, right? And we increase the actual like live stream potential. We increase a lot of things that spreads Vanguard, right?
Except for actually advertising the game and putting it out there.
Yes, I have some issues with Bushy, like in terms of like a lot of things, but from seeing BRO and how smooth it's pretty much been run so far, you know, from an outsider's perspective, I didn't enter, but the fact that it looks better, and you have more like people, more faces who are, you know, doing their best, doing their job, and you know, having fun while doing so. More of that, please. So it's like that's really good. I kind of just really want to talk about that because like I think BR's thing like I kind of like said like, all right, man, we got to start the podcast now. I was kind of like waiting to see what was happening with Proof, pretty much, to see what's going on there. But you know, once he hit like 0-2 because he got high rolled by Highlander, it was over. So I'm like, you know, let's go. That's why we kind of like started late. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, that shouldn't be Tensei 5.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Highlander is somehow insane. I'm surprised. Cause like everyone's like, man, what is Bermuda's been clapped so many times? What do they literally have left? Turns out everything.
Like, the thing with Highlander decks and games like this, even Gate Ruler has this thing. Like, ratios don't matter if your entire deck is gas.
All gas, baby. Word to Noonan.
All, all I need is 49 cards. Just give me 49 cards. They're all gas. Just one actual piece of engine. That's all you need.
All gas, no car.
Oh yeah. You skateboarding now.
Okay. So that's kind of pretty much it. Go watch BRO. Where was that? Okay. Go watch BRO.
Or not.
Or not. You can stay and watch us. You know, or put 2 streams on. Please don't leave us.
Put 5 streams on. There's some people you need to support as well. You know who they are. We don't, but you do.
Alright, so next on the news. The strategy presentation is Monday. We somehow reached this time. And so what we got is we're gonna have Yuki Ono on the stream, on the presentation with us.
Yay!
Also, Masanori is also gonna be there.
The main villain.
Not the voice
Yay!
actor. Not the voice actor. The actual character apparently is gonna be there. I'm confused.
Zechs, you're talking to a robot right now, and you're somewhat confused about this.
No, because what I'm assuming what's gonna happen is they're going to do some like setup for season 3. Because there's no way you have the most shady MF in the entire series up to this point pull up as the actual character. Like he's gotta be the final villain, or like the final villain of the overdress arc.
Look, I'm gonna call it right now. He's the fiance.
Spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers. That's my theory right now, and we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Keep that in your mind.
Alright, so, you know, Masanori's there. And you know who else will be there? Keita Mori. For the last time. Because literally, Thursday morning. Was it Thursday morning or Friday morning? Regardless.
Same morning.
Within the span of 24 hours, Keita Mori in the Vanguard Twitter announced that he is leaving Bushiroad.
He just bounced.
I don't know if he bounced or he was, you know, where he was bounced, fired. He had to leave for undisclosed reasons. We'll probably know later. Either way,
We're never gonna. Look, we saw what happened to the last guy who left Bushiroad and tried to say things later. He became a Keita.
You see, the difference is
Mori isn't completely insane.
Overstepped his boundaries.
That is true.
Kind of funny. I mean,
Mori's also not insane.
you kind of brought up a good point there in the chat. Kind of funny they didn't bring up being grateful for the opportunity to work at Bushiroad.
Ah, shit. Oh,
Ooh,
right, yeah, that's actually important.
man.
He's thanking the fans, not Bushiroad in his tweet.
Now, granted, like there's still lots. Actually,
No. That seems like bad
I was gonna be
terms.
like, maybe there's some like time you could do. Also, like, it doesn't help because I saw Kidani's tweet, kind of quote tweeting it. It's like, hey, thank you. So something's going on. I don't know.
We've known for a while Keita a bit of an evil villain who looks like a funny old man. Who's not actually that old, just kind of greasy.
He just called the man Grease. Oh Jesus!
You know I'm right.
Again, you might be right, but you shouldn't say it. Uh,
Bush Road lawyers. Hey, get back to me. If you want to sue me, let's have a 1v1. Let's go. All right.
uh I wonder how. I wonder who wins, Bushiroad Lords or Nintendo Ninjas.
I mean, we've seen Bush Road spies
You
everywhere.
mean you?
No. The actual corporate spies they have that have been in Konami. Remember, let's see the duels and the Vanguard EX timings? Or how Seven's episodes and F episodes have had similar plots during the same week? Or how Bill Divide episodes have had similar plots with overdress episodes? Timing wise? They got spies. Shadowing. Point being, they have spies. The Bushy spy meme is actually not a joke.
Okay, so all right. So the whole thing in this segment was gonna be like, man, what do you expect is gonna happen for Vanguard at the strategy presentation? But now we know what's gonna happen with Vanguard, which is we have no damn idea.
You know, historically speaking, Mori's the third producer Vanguard has had. You can forget this. But G had a different producer who also bounced.
I thought it was the same producer for 10 years.
No.
I thought the producer was
Shimamura did OG, then he bounced, then came Akiyama for G, then Akiyama bounced, then Shimamura came back for V, then he bounced again, and then we got Mori.
really,
Yep.
huh?
Who didn't even last a year, so we can't even say he bounced after doing overdress.
Interesting.
Time for Shimamura to come back, I'm assuming.
No, keep that man away from me.
Hey guys, it's the one dependable person you got back.
I'd rather do with zero like pointed out. Just have a what's his name? Have a not Kidani. Have a Keita come back and run Vanguard. I'd rather have that.
You sure? I mean, at least it'd be entertaining of a fall, at least. But we did podcast material to go for like daily if Ikeda took over for Vanguard.
It is it. I was at the end. Regardless, this is kind of like a very very like confusing situation.
It's a red flag for sure.
Yeah, it's a red flag. Like nothing about this is really like good, right? Because like even if he left like because he himself was like sick, that means more like his health is like kind of an issue. If he got fired, that means something happened, or he got fired. If he quit, that means they had issues. Like there's a lot of issues that could have happened, and none of them are really good.
I mean, we all know there's only one person we can start pointing fingers at. And it's that greasy old man bastard Kidani.
You added master to it, they. Again, we woke up and chose violence. Or got off work and chose bonds. I don't know what you were doing.
Well, what's he gonna do? Show up with his golf clubs at my front door and start kneecapping me?
I mean,
He could. He won't.
I'm just saying, next Springfest, if he pulls up to Houston himself,
You're implying I play any Bushy Road games.
we ain't playing no games here. See, here's the thing with the scapegoat thing. The scapegoat thing is, like, he's taking on a brunt of the issues, right? But you don't quit off of, like, a couple bad sets.
Here's the thing with
or, like, you're
scapegoat, right?
for a couple bad sets. That means if you're scapegoated, that means something has to have gone catastrophically wrong in the background for you to be the scapegoat for almost under a year.
Like, it'd be something silly like Shimamura deleting files off the server to just prevent the new guy from doing anything.
I don't think Shimamura is a Keita.
No. Shimamura seems like the most normal person at Bushiroad's upper management. Which is the most disturbing thing if you think about it. Man's had his job for a long time and he seems completely normal. At Bushiroad?
Yeah.
That's kind of sus.
I mean, it's like, I definitely don't feel like... I will say this, I think, like... I don't think he's a complete scapegoat, but I definitely don't think he just say, you know what, I'm just gonna head out. Like, on his 100%...
Like, I don't think
it's 100% his decision, right? Like, he just got bored one day. You know what, I'm good. I'm leaving. Like, I do think some issues happened behind the scenes.
I don't think he's completely, like, innocent either.
Yeah. I mean, no one's, like, completely at 100% at fault. I think just, like, a lot of things have just gone wrong this past year. Or have gone right and have gone wrong, etc., tomato. But, I think...
And, like, then you look at the Weiss and Rebirth's departments and they're just like, huh.
I mean, Weiss and Rebirth are literally carrying the T.C.G department. Man,
like, Rebirth keeps knocking sets out like it's doing. It's like, all right.
So,
Azure Lane, New Godzilla, both seasons of Gridman. Anything else we could do? Boom, 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 boom.
Genshin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, Rebirth the space is like super Weiss at this point into the series it's picking.
Yeah.
And Weiss is Weiss. Nothing goes wrong in Weiss land.
Yeah, nothing goes right in Weiss land unless you're English and your name is and your set name RWBY.
Right.
Where all your SP, all your high rarity stuff looks like fan artists were hired to do it with no
Weiss Schwartz, 13 years and counting and no dumpster fires. Wait, 14 years actually. Holy shit.
And on that note, I was talking about the podcast be taking like 2 hours, right? That's not true. It's gonna be probably like 3 hours.
Probably.
We're gonna take a short break, about like 5-10 minutes, then we back to actually talk about the anime stuff. So we'll be right back. All right, and we're back.
Guess we're back.
All right, so now we move on to the anime section of the podcast. This will contain spoilers for Divide and Vanguard Overdress for the past 2 weeks. Especially for Divide because I finally caught up to episode 6. Like I said earlier in the podcast. So if you don't wish to be spoiled, or however you want to feel about it, if you don't want to get spoiled or not, I suggest you pause, go watch those episodes, come
And
back.
then, yep.
If you don't care, hey, stay and welcome. Enjoy us talking about children's card game anime. So let me start off with episode 6, because that's the episode like last time I couldn't watch because I fell asleep.
I guess a really important episode you somehow missed.
You said it's the least important episode?
I mean, the really important episode.
In terms of those 6 episodes originally, yeah, it was kind of like the
Mm-hmm.
most important episode on that list. The thing is, I watched episode 6 after 8 and 9, so now it's just like, man, this kind of is interesting, but at the same time, it's like also, it's kind of hard to live up after you watched 8 and 9, which we'll get to. But like episode 6 is basically a rescue Sakura because she's been abducted by the card professor who has been experimenting on the magic of Build Divide. And what that could do for the world. Though he's also a crazy maniac who's experimenting on people against their will.
As always.
Yep, and kidnaps Sakura to do research on her body because she's fading in out of reality. Or rather, she's like bypassing reality. And we at the time we didn't know what's going on. Heck, we still kind of don't, but I've got theories.
Oh yeah.
So
Myself.
Hiruto and Hiruto goes and helps while the aggressive dude finally comes back. I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Enjo.
Huh?
Enjo. Or dude's name.
Angel? What?
Enjo. Or just not me too. Yeah, either one works.
I'm just gonna say Angel until I'll refix everything next time. I'll remember his name by then because it'll actually be in the show more. So Angel and Hyoko. Not. Oh, that's right. Because for some reason Hiruto starts calling oh. Gosh dang. Okay, let me look at Build Divide character names. I was trying not to do that. But it's like, now meets Hiyori. Cause Teruto keeps calling Hiyori Hyoko in the episode. I'm like, what do you do? When it's like, it's Hiyori. So it's like, bruh. It's like her and Namitsu are forced to deal with like mooks, and they have they effectively have like a magic off in the middle of the episode, and I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
Because this is like the first time since episode 1 where they talk about Build Divide cards actually like having powers and being magical for the first time, like all the episodes up to this point.
I mean, one important detail about it though, it's only the like spell cards and not the units.
Yeah, because the units are used for actual fight, but like the spell cards actually like do stuff. So it's like there's like actual like they talk about like continuously world building about like what is going on with what's going on with the world itself, more likely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all fighting on an island. We have a king who's not really a king, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then some other wacky stuff going on.
And you have like 2 shady dudes just doing stuff.
Yeah. One who can literally like teleport and one who's just like a super experimenter. So it's like, what the heck is going on?
And then we got Mario, the guy in the suit.
Mm-hmm. So it's very much like a question thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, okay, now I kind of understand how we transitioned to episode 7. Then episode 8. And I guarantee you, had I not gotten spoiled, I had a feeling. I have a feeling like had I not gotten spoiled, I pretty much would have figured out the twist of the episode before they kind of spoil it in episode 9 anyway. But
the way 8 like portrays it was actually pretty well done too.
yeah, it was, because it's like, thing. So episode 8, I forgot what the name was. I'm sorry, I'm not really used to the Build-A-Vi names. Because episode 7 was like some weird jank. I'm like, what the heck is this? Autour de Mode de jour? What? Omelette de fromage? What are y'all? What actual words, man?
Right.
So episode 8 is Teruto and Kika's backstory.
Yep.
And, it's told by, like, having the baker, like, just be chilling out with Teruto. And they were just, like, talking, conversating with each other. So.
An actually chill episode.
Yeah.
At the start.
Chill episode to start. And we get the Teruto thing. He liked baking, and he wanted to hang with her. And then Kika comes and finds him. And the difference between, Kika back then and Kika now is Kika has black hair.
Suspicious.
Yeah. It's like, I know Teruto has black hair and, they're family and they're related. But, like, how did she get the how did she get the white hair? What happened there? And it was a nice episode, and they were like, well, since we're waiting, let's play some Build-A-Vi. And basically, what it does is, like, this is not the first time I've actually been like, you know what? Teruto is actually kind of a character now. It's just like, dang. And you know how they did it? Because they made him a salty piece of crap.
Yeah.
As a 7-year-old. In which the only reason why he taught Kika Build-A-Vi pretty much was that he could just constantly keep beating her. So when not only did she beat him, but ended up being better than him every time they fought for a long time, he was upset and it's like, you know what? I don't want to play no more.
Most realistic portrayal of a 7-year-old I've seen in any series.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's just like, dang, Teruto, you were kind of an a-hole as a kid, weren't you? I mean, granted, he's a kid, so it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's always just like, dang.
Right.
So.
And then he commits the biggest sin in card game history.
And so, effectively, what happens is, every time Kika keeps asking Teruto to come fight her, he refuses. In fact, he basically just like ignores her every chance he can. And it hurts her so badly the more and more it happens that she eventually just becomes sick and gets the white hair. There she gets the white hair.
Yep. Which is an actual medical condition in real life.
It is,
Yep. It's like when we discussed Paris Shock earlier.
Man, that girl. That girl who was just on screen also has some nice hair, huh? We'll get to that later. The episode pretty much ends with like, Kika asking, Teruto is going through his memories because of what's his name? You said
Ishinome.
Ishinomu. Showing him his memories, giving his memories back, basically being like, yeah, I'm giving your memories back because I want to speed up the process.
The process for what? We shall find out.
Yeah, it's like, what? And so he gives the memories back, and the final thing is, Teruto, before their parents are splitting for reasons, and so the day before, Teruto is supposed to pack up and leave, Kika asks him one more time, please just play me, and he says, okay, I'll play you at the specific location. And so Kika is running late because she can't find her deck, and then she runs late, and she believes she's missed Teruto, and she's crying out for him, kind of like where to go, and she feels like I've missed my chance to hang out with my brother one last time, only for it to then pan out to see Teruto had stolen her deck, stolen her old deck, and it's just like upset. So he just takes him, and they never see each other again.
Legit the worst thing you could do in a card game anime.
Yeah. And like the realization of, well, why does he hate Kika so much? It's like, well, it's animosity.
Hey, it's fault.
It's like, it's salt. It's animosity from when they were young, when she just beat his behind so bad every time after a certain point, and he just couldn't get over it.
One thing I do like about this episode and 9 is using an amnesiac character as an unreliable narrator. Because we completely did not see the other side of this, like, after he gets, like, first major appearance. Like, alright. We're just going with what Teruto, like, showed us, right? Now it's like, oh, we're not on your side anymore.
Yeah, so the final like segment of the episode is Teruto goes back and uncovers the deck that he had, her deck that he had buried. And what do you know? It's a deck that is very similar to another characters in the show, but we'll get to that. And he goes back to Sakura and Hiyori, and Sakura says something that he remembers from back in the day. The same thing that he remembers Kika has said multiple times. And he remembers it. He gets that flashback, conveniently overlaying Kika and Sakura only for a second. And he's like, okay, let's go. And that's kind of how the episode pretty much ends.
Yep. It was a really good episode, direction-wise.
Yeah, it was. I'm really impressed with how the episode was. And it's like, you actually gave Hiruto some good effort, good development, before we actually get to like those points. For like most T.C.G episodes, like most T.C.G series do, which is they save the development for the main character like near like the final 2 episodes. This time they said, okay, episode 8, we're starting to unravel what's going on, and we're gonna do it. Here we go. Here's Hiruto's backstory. Here's Kika's backstory. Here's why Teruto hates Kika. Here's everything, and we've set up another plot point, what's going on, which will be revealed in episode 9. Just a really good setup episode.
Yep. Like, I'm so glad they're not doing the thing where they just like wait until like later, like to fight itself for us to start getting the flashbacks we need for setup. So am I sick of that in anime?
So what next? So and then we lead to episode 9, in which now that Teruto has regained some energy, he's decided, I'm gonna go do some stuff of my own, and he wins enough of the chips to get one, to be like, okay, we need one more. And so they fight a character who bumped into Yori earlier and fell madly in love with her. And so they, Teruto and this character fight. And I think what's the interesting thing is like they actually like, how much like love anime like have, love anime, how much card game anime have like with like the one-off like character who like falls for another character.
Yep.
I know like Vanguard's like one of the few that does it, because like Kamui just like constantly loves Emmy, but he's got something else going on too. Like it's kind of like this. Like they had this character come in as like love. You know, he's searching for strength. He asks Teruto what is strength because he wants to fight someone else, but like he doesn't tell you who. He doesn't explain why. Like a nice teaser probably for season 2 maybe, because there's no way we have enough plot for him now.
Right.
And it kind of this thing is like the fight wasn't really for, you know, the fight. It's more of for the character fight. It's more like a setup fight for like eventually like a season 2. But anyway, they win, and Teruto gets all the chips necessary to create a key.
One thing I do like about this, the episode, is that the fight for like the final chip wasn't like even that grand of a deal. Like, all things considered, I'm kind of glad they didn't stretch this out to like most of an episode or like the back half of an episode. It's like, yeah, we're done. That's it. Time for the actual final arc.
Yeah, it's like we just kind of get through the episode halfway through, and we're like, okay, that's cool. And so Sakura like gets the key, and then seals up Hiyori and Teruto up, and runs straight to Neo Kyoto Tower. just jacks them and seals them in like a fight arena, and like runs straight to go to the king. Like it was like, man, I kind of saw that coming, but at the same time, it's like, you know, that's actually kind of genius.
Yeah.
And so now we get Sakura's backstory, in which she just one day woke up like Teruto, underneath a bunch of cherry blossoms. Actually, like where she actually is like located, like in the middle of where the anime opening actually like has her in like her introduction section, right? And then she meets Iwa, what's his name? And they talk, and he gives her the name Sakura. And so she's wondering like, well, what's going on? As she's understanding, it's like, well, I don't feel hunger. I don't feel sad. Like my body just isn't working what like a human body should be doing. It's like, what's going on? And then one day she starts like having like a hole in her hand, like, oh shoot, like what's happening to me? And he basically says like, yeah, no, and then Iwa basically says, well, here's what's going on. You've kind of been split apart. And it's like, okay, well, Sakura's like, oh, well, then like the king has, she goes at the like, well, the king has probably stolen my body. And the only way to get it back is to get to the king. But I don't think I'm strong enough to beat the king, so I need to find someone who can pretty much just like do the work for me, and then I just take it. Which is what she pretty much did. She tried to find someone who'd be strong enough to really get it, and she found Teruto just randomly, conveniently. Like she wasn't even like looking for him specifically, just literally
nowhere.
Coincidence. Just like, oh.
Give you a coincidence. Wink, wink.
We'll get to that. And so,
I mean, we're almost here.
Yeah, we're almost there. And so, you know, that's the whole thing. And then we go through the whole series. And as she finally gets there, and she is about to fight Kika. So that's how the episode kind of ends. That's really just how the episode ends. While Naomitsu, Hiyori, and Teruto all are trying to rush there because they realize, oh wait, because Teruto realizes, oh wait, this is a trap. Sakura's not going to get her wish filled even if she does win. And so that's where the episode kind of ends, and we wait for episode 10. So what pretty much was spoiled to me, and I think regardless of what happened, I think I understand what the twist is that Sakura and Kika, you know, slight potential spoilers for future episodes, is that Sakura and Kika are really just like split apart. that
Yep.
whatever happened to Kika when she got her hair turned gray yeeted out what Sakura.
Uh-huh.
And so now because the whole thing is like Kika's also been like kind of like fading away, and she's been like, you know, tired and like need to conserve energy. Where it's pretty much is the two can no longer like really like exist without each other, or rather, they need each other to survive now because they can no longer like stay together. So they're slowly like fading away,
Mm-hmm. But
and
I think
because
there's something else going on here.
mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Because like there's a third entity probably doing stuff as well.
Oh
There's
yes,
no way
because
we got
sorry. Continue.
there's no way we got from point A with Stalker slash Kika as a kid. The point to where we are right now, which one we'll call point C, without some crazy magic mumbo nonsense happening in the middle.
Yeah, because like the main, as soon as the main bad guy has been all right, hurry up, Teruto, get here. You're part of the plan. And it's like it obviously is like Sakura is not part of that plan, or at least she's not in there from what we can see so far. Maybe there's more details for that later. But it's always been like Teruto has to get here and get here fast to complete the plan. But Sakura is here instead. Like something has changed. Like the plan has been altered in a way without
It's
them
also
knowing that they're technically each other.
it's also a weird thing with how we got two mentions of someone winning the rebuild and then something bad happening afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Especially after Churchill also said that he realized like no, he put two together. Like wait a second, I actually won
And
the
then
fight with the
something
king,
weird happened.
and something happened.
Like tech, which then like unless there were two, there's two possibilities. One, there were two different rebuilds that happened, or two, because Teruto is still the most unreliable narrator here, next to Ishinomi's bull. And anyway, there was one rebuild battle, and Kiko, Sakura, and Teruto were all involved in it, where some even crazier stuff happened,
So quick
and
question.
both of them got dumpstered.
So quick question. What exactly is a rebuild battle? I think I've forgotten. Is it like the battles they usually do where they play like for the chips, or is it like the
It's
actual fight with
basically
the king?
it's both. Like the rebuild battle, like the grand event to face the king. They say the rebuild battle be the fight with the king, basically. The reshape Neo Kyoto.
Hmm.
And both times it got super rigged. It got rigged hard apparently against the winners.
Yeah.
Or was it just one time again?
I think what's the deal was the loser is becomes the king.
That
Because
could also be
there's no
it.
way. Because the whole thing is like there's no way like Teruto said I won, but I don't remember it, without like the whole thing like being sketchy. So I guess what you're saying now, I think the whole thing is basically what happened is Teruto won. He finally beat his sister, but and so because of that, the king became the I guess the power source of wherever they are. Because there's no way you keep all those wars and be like, okay, nobody just have all those wires basically hooked up to Kika like that if she's not powering something. And it's like that's probably why it's like so quick to like immediately start switching kings because Sakura and Kika are separated and are starting to fade out. You need an actual you need someone who actually can do it. So the whole thing's probably like, Teruto comes in and he loses, making him the king instead. Meaning his strength is enough to keep powering everything. To get a new power source.
Now that I think about it, there's also a weird line that Sakura randomly said in episode 1. That for some strange reason, Bloom was protecting both her and Teruto.
I mean...
No, I'm not saying Bloom's alive, but I'm also saying they got a really expensive voice actor for her.
I mean, you protect the sister of your user, right?
I mean, the unit's alive is all I'm saying here.
Yeah, the unit's alive, but it's also like... Yeah, it
probably involved in the bullet.
I think that was like the first like taste of like, yeah, no, there's a connection between Sakura and Teruto that no one really noticed.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Bloom's directly responsible for whatever's going on here.
I wouldn't be too. Alright, so what would you give these sections 7 and 8?
Phew.
I mean 8 and 9, my bad.
8 and 9, probably like a 9 out of 10 actually. These were just some strong episodes back to back.
Alright, I'd probably give it a 9 as well. I really like
it. There's like nothing to complain about really. Just Haymaker episodes.
Sorry. Been eating like baked chips in the background the whole time. I'm trying to like actually chomp on because like I haven't. This has been a long time. I'm pushing up to 3 hours of content, so I'm like, okay. So now we move on to really well-made episodes to
overdress.
The greasy businessman bastard. Judo's words, Zeno's words, not mine. And his introduction into the plot. That's right. Episode 20 and
the hijack.
Overdress. So, hold on, let me eat this Bible quick. So, episode 20. We cut back to where we once were, and we get everybody in Team Blackout up to speed over what's going on with Donji and Murray. And I think really what pretty much is this like Murray still shook over the over the fight and kind of like the interaction, and she really is kind of like questioning. She's questioning a lot of things, and she feels like she's being like, babied and like lied to, and she's starting to really question what's going on. And she feels as though like she really like says like, no, I can't really let go of Donji because he's the only one so far in my life right now that's actually treated me like a real person. And so Donji, in like a last attempt to try and like fix some things, is like, okay, well maybe if I have her spend time with Megami, Toya, and Yu, she can be like, okay, well, not bad people. They aren't. And like try one more time to kind of like fix the issue. And so they go to that festival that's been hinted at for like a couple episodes. Hey, look, some payoff. And it's like it's okay until uh until eventually the fireworks start popping and Mirai's PTSD kick in and she gets scared of loud noises and you can't get to her, and then eventually like the loud noises happening and she's scared, and then the she hears a sound that reminds her of a roaring lion, and she remembers from like back in the day when her brother used to do that, her dead brother would used to do that. And we cut to a shrine, just an empty silent shrine in the darkness of night, and she puts two and two together and realizes that Donji is her dead brother. And what I really like, and here's gonna be weird because I really like this. What happens when she finds out isn't, oh my god, I'm so happy you're alive. It's immediately you see Donji sad, and you immediately smash cut to a pan up of Mirai in the most like angry in the most angry yell, in the most like angry face you've seen of the character in the series so far. Just straight up like upset. Her eyes are wide open. She's yelling. She's like, what is going on? And she's like, no, there ain't no way. Like, so y'all were lying to me this whole time. And she immediately goes like, no, you came back to take all the hard work I did. Because, she's supposed to be a, the whole thing was Donji was supposed to be the heir of the family. She's supposed to be the heir of the family. She's supposed to be, Donji was supposed to be the heir of the family. He's supposed to do all this stuff. But because of his issues, which we'll get to 21, he couldn't do that, so Mariah had to do it. And so she had to go through all this crap for years and believing Donji was dead when really he was gone. He wasn't there. He was alive, but he wasn't there protecting her or helping her. While everyone else kind of just like lied to her and babied her. And she's mad not because he's alive, but because the fact that the person she trusted the most also lied to her. Ironically, the two people she trusted the most were the same person, and effectively both of them lied to her.
What the twist?
And, people were calling her a brat. I'm like, yeah, she's a 14-year-old who is blind, who has gone through so much BS, and doesn't know how to. Well, how old she is, I don't know, but like she hasn't been gone through a bunch of BS. Like, how else is she supposed to react to the situation? Besides, oh, I'm so glad you're okay, Nissan. I love you forever. No, I'm glad she went mad. I'm glad she got crazy. I'm glad she got upset because that's something we needed. We needed.
That's the only logical response.
Mad. Yeah, that's the most response. She needed to get angry and be like, she was like, get away from me. Like, y'all have all lied to me. Y'all disgust me. She's sick. She's sickening by all the BS that's happened. And so she
is honestly the villain here. He didn't. Donji's issue is that he didn't try.
Well, try how? Tries in to stay with the family, or tries in
stay with the family, get closer to her as Donji, do literally anything during the interim.
I'm sure there's probably like some things like he couldn't do, but I kind of agree with you on that. It's like it is very much like it's kind of this hilarious thing of like kind of like calling out season 1 is like. So while I was like out here about to get sold off to some random dudes. I'm out here having to be a shrine maiden. I'm having to here do all this other stuff. You were literally out here having fun with other people, right? Like that's where Team Blackout comes in. It's like you were playing around while I was struggling. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little
And it's like this hilarious scene with like a call out to season 1 of like where they literally did nothing but just meme
right.
around. Again, still doesn't fix season 1, but like it's still kind of like a little like kind of like, huh.
Join that lamb should have been undeservedly, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
But I mean, yeah.
So
You know, the funniest thing about this whole like little arc we have going on here?
what?
All the flack Yu is getting. Well, trying to be the nicest person in the cast.
Yu's doing everything he can to kind of keep the situation together, and now he's like the bad guy.
It's like, hey, Miri, hey, friends, right? Hey, my name's out.
I do feel bad for him. Like, he is literally just trying his best, and everything is falling apart out by the seams every time he does.
Because things are completely unrelated to him. It's like, Like, dang.
Man, these ships are hidden. So it's like, the end of that is like actually like good, where she's like, you know what? Fine. If you say you are really not going to leave, then you have to choose between my brother or Donji, and make that decision by the end of this fight. I'm gonna have to do with Blackout.
Also, screw you in particular. Like, especially, and you gotta get away from that guy. Particularly you. Mm-hmm.
So I think the real like
imagine being pointed out by a blind person.
I don't know. But like, I think what's gonna be really interesting is what Donji does choose. I think that's kind of the most interesting thing about his character is more so, is he going to choose to fix? I say fix, quote unquote, because it's kind of become a little bit too toxic now.
Yeah.
Unintentionally toxic, but it's still toxic, right?
Right.
It's like, are you going to choose like staying with your, trying to like help your sister, like be her brother, take care of her, do everything you need to, but are you going to sacrifice the life you made with Blackout to do it?
Or are you going to be regretting you didn't purchase a bulletproof vest at the end of the season?
Nah, I mean we ain't gonna use no bulletproof vest at the end of the season. We're literally at a tower. If anyone gonna kick the bucket, they're gonna be kicked out the tower.
So it's a great time to mention the Bush Road Spy thing again for this episode.
Why?
Because this episode coincided and aired perfectly in time with episode 8 of Build Divide. Both episodes about older brothers manage to ruin their lives with their younger sister and come to dramatic, painful conclusions about it.
That has to be just a coincidence, please.
Just
ain't no
you sure?
Way. There ain't no way, please.
The spies are real.
Alright.
Look.
Alright. So
we had the Mad Max episode of Sevens and the Mad Max episode of F in the same week.
There was a Mad Max episode of Sevens?
Sorry, it was Fits of North Star. Anyway, point being, that happened as well.
Okay, interesting. So, all right. So moving to episode 21, where we have the most jarring tournament arc ever placed into a card game anime.
Kidani has entered the scene. Everyone stand back.
And okay, this is really gonna depend on. I really just hope the I guess the quality of writing of season 2 just stays at least decent for the rest of the show.
I mean, it kind of took a dip this episode.
Because this is what I kind of feared originally when season 2 was announced and got all the information of Kidani coming in the back half. I feared that season 2 was actually going to be really good, and then Kidani might have accidentally messed things up unintentionally. That was literally what I was thinking. I wasn't like praying for like, man, I hope season 2's bad as season 1 and Kidani comes to save it. I was like, please just let season 2 be good just in general. And when I heard the Kidani like came in and like helped in the back half, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Literally what I said. It's like, oh, please God. I don't know
All right,
why. I'll tell you this.
Okay,
I don't
new
know
theory.
but episode 13. Sorry, I'll let you complete in just a second. But like episode 13, I was actually in a way kind of like relieved in the sense of like, oh, this is bad. Oh, thank God. The back half will be decent. And then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All dang near good episodes. I'm like, oh no. We got hit with the fake out. I got juked. I'm like, oh, I was in a genjutsu.
And then 21 happened.
It was just like banger after banger. So
Here's my theory. The real reason Mori left is because he saw the script for episode 25. It's like, shit, I'm the fall guy for this, aren't I?
Don't you do
and
that.
Just jumped out a window, leaving it to Kidani.
Don't you do that. Don't you put that evil on this.
Well, I'm out of here.
What could happen in episode 25 to ruin the show would have to be astronomical.
It's a Yu versus Mirai fight.
No, I thought episode 24 was Yu versus Mirai.
No, episode 24 is Sanji versus Toya. I mean, episode 24.
Episode 24.
The wooded towers arranged.
Hold on. I guess the question is like, how does this gonna work? Because I think the other issue, I think one thing I could say about 21 is like we don't know how the whole thing works, right? So it's like we know that like if
Blackout stomps and Danji reverse stomps until Toya shows up, and it's like, all right.
Yeah, that's my thing. So it's like, is the finale just gonna be like I know what's his name got beat by Haruka.
Yeah.
And Megami won. Is Megami going to fight next and then Yu goes next?
I think no. I don't think so. It's structured that anyone.
Like, I know it's like if the 5
anyone in Blackout can fight in like any order.
But it's like if you lose, are you just like unable to fight again for the rest of the journey?
Uh-huh.
So that basically means that either Danji claps everyone but Toya
and Yu.
By like
basically just the girls. He's just gonna clap the female cast. That's it.
That's a Dojin probably coming up with Kamaket next time.
Danji about to do a Danji one more time.
But like either that or Toya takes on Danji. Oh, I just had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if we don't get another Mirai fight?
I would be shocked
What if
if they do
what
not.
if the final episode is like Yu versus Donji and Donji wins?
Oh my god.
That would be like
I
the most
mean,
like, oh, that would be the biggest plot twist, because that basically kind of means like, yeah, no, he chose Daybreak, he chose his sister.
it could go either way.
Like, I think,
But I feel like we got to get those front backs in, right? Well, I don't think Overdose is escaping without doing 2 run backs in a row.
I don't know.
We're talking about the same franchise that wasted 52 episodes on Chrono getting a single run back win on one guy. Let's not forget that all of G Next was essentially the run back arc. And Keita needs to control again.
I have no idea what's gonna happen, man. I'm scared. I'm somehow scared for
2025
this.
is 25 is gonna make or break this show so freaking hard.
It is. I'm already kind of.
There's a reason it's the one episode they didn't reveal the matchup for.
I mean, I think if they revealed it, it'd be it'd be like a big spoiler.
Right, but like in general, it's like, oh boy. If it's not Yu versus someone, ooh, we're not hearing the end of it. We are never hearing the end of it.
That'd be the biggest, like, that would pretty much like say like season 3 and 4 are gonna be something. I don't
Like at that point, you may as well start bringing in the OG Vanguard characters if they somehow botch 25. Like screw it. Here's the OD versions of Kai and Aichi.
Here's what I think probably would be like the worst case scenario is we have Donji take out all of either Donji takes out all of Team Blackout and we just rush the ending going into season 3. Like, we just literally just like, he chose it, he leaves, that's it, there's nothing there. We just leave with like Yu sad, and that's it. Or we have it so that it is Yu versus Mirai again. Yu versus Mirai again. And we end the fight with Yu winning. But then Masanori comes in, pushes Donji off the tower, steals Mirai in his helicopter, and we get a post-credit scene in which we see the commercial that was in episode 2021 that was kind of like said, and it actually is like Kai like doing a commercial for Vanguard. Or like a descendant of Kai. And we end with that cliffhanger.
The plot twist is going to be it's actually post V Turnabout Kai doing it. It's like, oh no.
Yes, it's like Overdress is actually a sequel to Turnabout. Meaning it's a sequel to V.
Which makes Overdress the G boots by technicality.
That would make everybody. That'd be the most, man, fuck you, I ever see. Like, just straight up, we have literally no faith in these characters anymore.
I mean, can you blame them though? After season 1, would you have any faith in these characters? You wouldn't just install a contingency plan? Because remember the streamer they announced overdress? And they were asked specifically about the older cast.
Yup.
And they never said the word no. In fact, they said the opposite. They said, well, these characters could exist. They aren't in the cards yet. But we're not ruling the option out. Like when they mentioned Gear Chronicle in V. But we could put Chrono in. It's a new universe, though. There might be Gear Chronicle.
I don't know.
Kidani. It's just Kidani at this point. We gotta admit it, Zechs.
We didn't talk about why Donji was even kicked out in the first place, but I think at this point it doesn't matter. He was in trouble originally because he was fighting people. He was being a ragamuffin. He was being a Joe Star.
Pretty much.
So it was like, one more time, you're pretty much out of there. And then Moray's like, hey, why don't you just play Vanguard me? And they just start all having a whole Vanguard group. And then Moray was about to get hitched off to some random dude. And Donji punched him because he was actually an a-hole. And ruined the marriage and pissed off enough people that he had to go. So there's the reason why Donji left in the first place. He left because he was trying to be a good big brother and prevent his little sister from being married to some random dude and probably get some random duded.
It's Masanori.
You can take the context of that how you want.
You know what this stream is really making me kind of glad didn't happen?
What?
My crackpot theory that if it gets so meta, the final episode was just going to be the main cast meeting Kidani at the edge of the multiverse. That's like the ultimate god of Vanguard. They could have done it.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the meaning behind Vanguard? And it's just Kidani like walking down the throne. I mean, walking off the throne.
That'd be like that'd be what some people thought like Kadaka was gonna do at the end of Danganronpa V3.
Hey, how's it going?
Because of how hard that game broke the fourth wall.
Yeah, it was getting there too.
I don't think it got far enough, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's chicken out at the end there.
I mean, the issue... I feel like If's issue is they had like two different plots to resolve at once.
You know.
One being Ibuki's whole thing. And the other being Emi's whole thing. Well, maintaining through Kai, and it's like, alright, one he's allowed to be the main character. So, draw straws. It's like, oh, it's Ibuki. Majesty, Lord of Blaster! I do something.
I'm trying to think here. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
I'm just gonna say it now. I have no faith in episode 22 being anything but filler. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's freaking Shinobu. Who cares about Shinobu?
And it's Yu. Like, these two have nothing going on with each other, like zero chemistry. It's actually a wasted episode.
I don't know. We'll see what I'll see what happens.
You're gonna give Shinobu a flashback. Try.
I don't know. I feel like Shinobu getting any development, honestly, that isn't just. There's just no real if Ifuroki got a flashback of him being bullied to the point where he might have started bleeding from his head, wasn't actually good enough to make us care about the character. I don't think anything Shinobu could have outside of outside of like probably building into the original cross dressing thing and like going that far. And if you understand what that far means, I mean that far. I don't know what you could do to make us care for this character.
Right. Like, and unfortunately, they're an evil Shota character in Vanguard. They're going to get some backstory this episode. The issue being, the only time these backstories worked out was with Tatsuya. And that was everything else surrounding Tatsuya, and not himself.
I mean, yeah, because it's like, because here's the difference between Tatsuya and like a Hiroki, right? And Tatsuya and a Hiroki, right? Tatsuya was a good guy. Tatsuya was part of the team, part of the group, part of the nice characters, right? I mean, similar to Tayo, but on a different scale. Because Tayo's like, oh, I just want to be good and strong, right? Tatsuya literally lost his mind because his parents died for no reason.
And that's the thing about, like, when we're talking, like, he is literally just a victim of the setting.
He literally got screwed for no reason.
Were it not for the Vanguard lore being the Vanguard lore, he would have been perfectly fine.
Like, legitimately, what made Tatsuya more compelling was because he didn't even turn evil. He wasn't really evil. He was just insane of grief because of his grief and his trauma. And he wanted to get his family back in some way. He wanted to get his family back somehow. And he wanted to use the same powers that took them. Which is why he betrayed Ryuzu at the end. It was really good, and it's like, well, it fell on the whole thing of PreThoughts of like the realization of RWBY's not going to be here to help see Chrono grow. We know RWBY's wife is gonna die. We know that Mikuru is going to have to like do all this stuff and probably can never really raise him and like deal with it because she doesn't know how. She's too young, right? Shin already has to deal with losing his brother and his wife and having to deal with Misaki. Like,
if you think about it,
the grief, it went with the story of, it was built around the actual like theme of Shinamon, of like people dealing with grief in different ways, and Tatsuya dealing with the grief of losing his family, from going from a good person to a person who's willing to die just to get his parents back. Damn, everybody else was actually
Kinema teaches a valuable lesson. Unless your name is Aichi Sando, you might want to steer clear of anything Vanguard related. Like, actually, just steer clear.
Yeah, because like, man, Chrono had it rough. Chrono had it rough. Tokuha lost her boy toy. Shion got crushed by rocks twice.
I mean, if you think about it,
Mamoru got
Zeno actually said positive outcome for Chrono at the end of GZ. Like, if you think about it, they never actually said, unlike the rest of like Tri-3, they never actually, Chrono's gonna be fine. He's gonna be set for life. He has something out of him. Nope. They gave him a dream sequence.
It's hilariously the realization of, technically Chrono doesn't have. It's like we kind of realize like, no, Chrono is kind of dumb. he's too dumb because of everything. For his future, he has no future in this sad way.
He's literally going to be Shin 2 or 3 counting Kamui. That's it. That's his ending. He's the next Shin.
Dang, that's crazy. Well, I think the thing is like we don't know, and like that's fine. Sometimes we
don't want a confirmation.
Goal at the end.
If you get confirmation, that's what arguably going to make things worse.
Yeah, I'd argue like getting the actual confirmation would be worse. Like it's just like let's just leave them there, right?
Let's just assume
the ending of like JoJo Part 4 is like, yeah, we did it. It's like, well, we got stand users here. Like, what do we do? Shouldn't y'all be fighting crime? It's like, nah, we're just going to chill in our city.
Don't worry about it. If something happens, we'll do something. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just like we can handle ourselves. We can take care of it. Or it's just a town where we just want to play trading card games.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that's why it's like the last bit is literally just Ibuki that's like laying back, which, you know what? Now that I think about it, considering his V persona and its transition to like the G persona, him at the end of that actual like season actually like hits a little different.
I like to think that Ibuki's hiding a ring in G.
Well, I think the thing is it's like
let Ibuki have his ending in it, all right? Let him have his ending.
I think what if the plot was like he secretly probably like married to Suiko, but like he couldn't say anything because he's probably like, doing some idol stuff, and so he hides like the ring or something. That'd be like an interesting plot twist, right? It's like he was actually.
You gotta imagine the rest of the Vanguard cast would probably be giving him so much shit for it.
Yeah,
they're never gonna live it down.
I don't know. I feel. Man,
Miwa wants blood in the water.
man, that'd be such an interesting like thing at the end. It's like now that I think about it, it's like just what if kind of like did to like the whole thing is like. The more you think about it, the more you realize, man, no one really.
The V universe is really fleshed out.
The universe is fleshed out, but also you realize, man, no one really got a happy ending.
No.
It's like, okay, Chrono's life is still terrible. I mean, not terrible, but like it's still like he still have his daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? His dad is still chose not to come back, even though the whole thing was done.
Yeah.
I mean, Tokoha is okay. I think Tokoha's okay. Shion still got his bank, and he's still going to do his job of helping people who can't play.
Now I just realized something.
Oh my god!
You know what I just realized?
What?
The Chrono is much closer to Amazing Spider-Man Peter Parker than I realized.
That's an interesting.
No, because if you want to compare the Peter Parkers and how they handled Uncle Ben dying to how Chrono handled losing RWBY in both timelines. Like one kind of just saved the press and whatnot. The other one starts going investigating, trying to figure things out. Has a whole different attitude.
Talking about movie Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
movie Spider-Man. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Like V Chrono is basically Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Different executions of the same basic flashback. There we go.
Okay, that'll do. Yeah, I'm about to say you ruined the thing. I was gonna say like I was about to be like Shion's whole thing was what if he wanted people who couldn't play Vanguard to play Vanguard, and he was like, And I stopped for a second. Like, wait a second. What if he like made like special stickers for like blind people? And I just put that together, and I was like, oh nah, that's dumb.
Nah.
That'd be too. That'd be too on the nose.
I just realized we forgot something we've been talking about episode 21.
What?
Everything to do with Megumi and Haruka.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about the fight or anything about the episode.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care anymore. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care. We literally talked about literally anything better than the actual fight. The fight was okay. Okay, Magnolia Elder is a cool card. Y'all can go look at any Vanguard site to go see Magnolia Elder. It's a cool card. Run 4 of it. You're good.
Haruka's a psycho groomer.
Haruka is easily worst character in the show, not because of her writing, but because of her as a character. It's just like, man, you were a trash human being.
And yet we can all agree with her that Danji's kind of trash.
No cap. All right, so that's it. What would you give these episodes 2021?
I'm gonna give 2020 an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give 21 a please God no out of 10.
I'll give both of them an 8 out of 10. That's it.
Like 21 feels like no, please. Don't be the trendsetter going forward. Like, I can't rate the episode in a vacuum, unfortunately. Because I gotta see 22 first, see if it's gonna be a trend.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's pretty much it for the anime stuff. I don't know. I don't know. What you got going on for the next 2 weeks before our year-end podcast?
Next 2 weeks, I don't know. Might be streaming some Halo Infinite tomorrow.
Okay.
Could be fun.
Alright. Cool. I don't know, I might just mess around and join you on that or something. I don't know. I haven't played Halo Infinite since the second day of launch, I guess. So it'd be cool to come back and return to that, I guess.
It'd be pretty fun.
If I don't know, depending on what time it was, I might just do. I'll probably continue episode the second. I might do the second stream of more Ys 8 because I was actually like really enjoying that, and last week because we were off that week, so I was like, okay, I'll stream Ys 8 finally. So I'll probably just like do that tomorrow as well, and probably just like filter it out throughout the week. I had to just upload I exported the VOD to my YouTube. It should be there. I'll probably edit it soon. Oh, the 02 anniversary's on. That's cool. 2 anniversary thing's on, so that's the thing. That's pretty much it. Probably sprinkle some Ys 8 streams, maybe a Vanguard 0 stream if I consider finishing a deck. But yeah,
my schedule's gonna be kind of weird next week, so I'm like probably gonna be doing some morning streams with I don't know, different card games, maybe play some balloons since everyone loves balloons apparently.
Alright.
I do too, actually. I'm kind of almost developing a problem.
Alright then. So
I hate the tower defense game so much, but it's so good.
Okay, so I think with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of T.C.G Live Talk. Our next episode is projected to be when I pull up the 18th of December, where we'll have our pretty much a year-end show because that's the last this show because the week after is Christmas Day, and that's it. And literally the thing, because like we're pretendly projected to do New Year's Day. There's no way that's gonna.
Yeah.
There's unless like we are not like drunk out of our minds, and by we I mean Zeno, cause I don't drink.
I don't drink either.
But unless like we're doing literally anything else on that day,
I don't know if if Gabriel said I'm drinking all New Year.
we might do the next podcast on January 8th. But tune in December 18th, and we'll be back with more. We'll have a
End of year wrap up.
You know, I'm actually kind of contemplating like we might do like a special on Tuesday. Well, not Tuesday. Somewhere around like next week, probably for the strategy meeting. If like something really pops off there, because we get like info for Weiss and Rebirth, and more Vanguard stuff, and we finally figure out what's going on with Mori. So we might do like a special in the week, and then the 18th for the year end. Just something to keep y'all up for like 2 weeks, since for like 3 weeks, because we might not do this January 1st podcast.
If we do the January 1st podcast, it'll be a special episode where we actually play games on this stream.
Yeah, it might not just be like a podcast, but rather just like we just stream like, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh or Vanguard or whatever. So anyway, we'll tell you about it later. So
we will finally introduce Zechs to the dead card game known as Gate Ruler.
Heck, I don't even know. I might I don't know, cause everybody's playing 14. I was gonna say I might do like a fighting game stream on Christmas Eve, maybe.
With what players? Around Endwalker.
Well, it's like I said, I have Jay and Matt, but like no, everybody's on Endwalker. Like by the time Christmas Eve comes around, even C will be on Endwalker.
I'm the one person not on Endwalker.
I don't know. We might do a Guilty Gear stream. I don't know. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.